At Dudy Noble Field in Starkville, Mississippi, we got a good one tonight. Mississippi State and Southern Miss, a top 15 matchup. Southern Miss has made their way up from Hattiesburg. They're 19-5 out of the Sun Belt. Mississippi State coming in at 20-4, fresh off a sweep this past weekend over Vanderbilt here at home. And we welcome you inside the broadcast booth here at Dudy Noble Field alongside former big leaguer Jay Powell. I'm Bart Gregory. And Jay, you look back at this game and look at this game. Southern Miss, Mississippi State, yeah, it's in-state, yeah, it's a big rivalry matchup. But you throw all that out, this was a big RPI game in the midweek here early in the season.
Yeah, it's really for both teams, obviously, but especially for Southern Miss. You look at their schedule coming up down the road, they really don't have a lot of these opportunities to play a team with a high RPI. They got Ole Miss midweek game coming up. But this is a huge game for them and for Mississippi State because, quite frankly, you know, they've stubbed their foot a little bit against some of these higher-ranked teams. So it's really a big game, especially on a Tuesday night in March.
Well, it's a return matchup. We saw this game earlier this year back on March the 3rd. Mississippi State going on the road to Hattiesburg. And the Golden Eagles jumped out early. They scored 3 runs in the first inning, took the lead. And then, Jay, Mississippi State offensively, that's the thing about this team. They fell behind but have the offensive firepower to come back.
Yeah, that's the one thing about Mississippi State. They have plenty of firepower when they fall behind. But the flip side of that is some of these good teams that they have played, whether it's been UCLA or Arkansas or some of the other ones, they've fallen behind early and really kind of dug themselves in a hole. So it's kind of tough to play comeback against some of these elite teams. That's what they're going to try to keep from doing tonight.
State took the lead in the 7th inning with a 3 spot. Then Southern Miss with back-to-back strikeout wild pitches took the lead at 7-6 in the bottom of the 7th inning. And then the Golden Eagles able to close it out in the top of the 9th inning and won that game back on March the 3rd, 7-6. You look back at that game, Southern Miss used 9 pitchers. Mississippi State used 7. Noah Sullivan went 1 for 3. Reed Stallman had the go-ahead single that gave State the lead in the 7th inning. Drew Barrett hit his 2nd home run. He's only got 2 home runs this season. Seth Smith hit his season-only home run in that game. And so, Jay, you saw the first time the two teams played. Very similar feel here tonight. Midweek game, Chris Billingsley drawing the start. You kind of feel like you're going to see a lot of pitchers out there tonight.
Yeah, I think they both used a combined 16 pitchers the first time they played. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't see something similar to that. Both teams got a tough weekend ahead of them, and you're not going to run through a bunch of your arms tonight. So Chris is going to get to start early in tonight, but you're going to probably see a bunch of different arms.
And the lineup that he will face for Southern Miss has 4 left-handed hitters in the order. You see Joey Urban. Morrison at the top has been the best on the team as far as from a batting average standpoint. Gillespie, Russo, Dre Barrett against State the first time, as we said, the 3-run home run. That came in the first inning. It gave the Golden Eagles the early lead. Eubanks, Stockman, Smith, and Tunsmeyer to round out the order for Southern Miss. Here on a Tuesday night, the temperature's hovering around 70 degrees. It's a perfect night for college baseball here in Starkville. All right, Jay, Chris Billingsley on the mound. The guy, a junior college transfer, he's got really good stuff. Just got to harness it here early on.
Yep. You got to get in the strike zone early. And, you know, he's been kind of one of our guys out of the bullpen, or one of Mississippi State's guys out of the bullpen. So give him a start. Maybe that'll help him get in that zone a little bit earlier.
And the 0-1 pitch, cut on to miss. Joey Urban at the plate, batting .319. He's got 7 home runs and 23 RBIs. So you got a power arm against a team that has power bats, a team that really likes to run it out of the yard. The 0-2, breaking ball down and away. Jay, how important is it to get ahead 0-1, 1-2 versus 2-1?
Well, that's been an issue for Billingsley all year. I mean, if he can pitch ahead, and not just the walks, but staying out of these bad counts.
Hot shot off the glove of the diving shortstop Ryder Woodson and into center field, and a solid single for Joey Urban to get the top of the first inning started.
Yeah, he had him up 1-2, and he tried to come back with a fastball down and away, and he just left it right down the middle of the plate. And, you know, sometimes we talk about control and command. There's a big difference. You know, you can control the ball by throwing strikes, but command, you throw it where you want to do it. And that time he just missed his spot down the middle of the plate.
And here's Kyle Morrison, team's leading hitter at .354. He's got 8 home runs on the season. That also leads the team. Try to come inside with a fastball there. Well, the two teams played twice last year. Southern Miss won in Hattiesburg early in year 3-0. State came back and won here at home 18-3 in 7 innings. That was kind of an anomaly. Be kind of surprised to see that again. And then earlier this year, back on March the 3rd, Southern Miss winning at home 7-6, and here's the return trip. And Jay, when you look at this series, we've kind of gone away and seen this series go away from State and Southern Miss, and that ball is foul. Fielded by Stallman, about a half-step foul. You used to see playing 2 in Hattiesburg, then 2 in Starkville, and then you saw the series move to Trustmark Park in Pearl and playing 1 game. How do you like this, where you play 1 home, 1 away?
Well, personally, I like it, and my point, I guess, is you have 2 teams that are very good. Normally, they're ranked pretty high, and to me, you need to play each other more than just one time. And if that means you play a home and home, that's what you do.
Tried the slider down and in. Now they count 3-1.
I'm not totally against either, and the coaches might kick me for saying this, but play a 3-game series early in February, or you're going to have decent weather at both places. Alternate years. One time they come up here, you go down there.
Well, you saw that in 2018 and then in 2019, where State started the season in Hattiesburg in 18 against Southern Miss, and then Southern Miss came up here in 2019. 3-1 pitch, hot shot, right side, could be 2. To second, to Woodson, the toss over, and a tailor-made 4-6-3 double play.
Well, he got a little lucky there. That was a fastball and a fastball count, and Morrison hit it hard. He just hit a one-hopper right to Fry. He had a good swing on it, but unfortunately for him, he hit it right to a defender.
And Garrick Fry drawing the start out at second base tonight. Ryder Woodson completing the double play. And now 2 quick outs in the first inning, and here's Davis Gillespie. First pitch cut on and missed. The foul ball back. All right, fastball at 92. And you've seen Billingsley this year have mid-90s with fastball. You get a good spin with slider. What's the first thing that Chris has got to improve upon?
The command.
Swing and a miss. He has good command there. He throws a fastball by Gillespie, and Chris Billingsley gets the double play ball and the strikeout. Well, the charcoal grills are rolling. We smell the smoke here at the ballpark. Ace Reese is going to come to the plate. All-American. He'll bat second with the Dogs bat in the bottom of the first. And Thomas Crabtree, the right-hander, takes the mound for Southern Miss, 6'4" junior from Collierville, Tennessee. Well, Jay, he's coming off a start. He started the game on Saturday, went an inning and 2/3 against Troy, but a short outing, back out, and you probably see him 1-2 innings tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't think he was going to go over 2 max. I mean, that's a pretty quick turnaround, and that's, to me, going to be the key to this thing. And a little bit surprised to see him out there, but his stuff's really good. He's the 92 to 96 guy, transfer in from Tennessee. So got some SEC experience last year, but it's a quick turnaround. I mean, he threw, I think, 36 pitches on Saturday.
Well, he drew the start against Ole Miss a couple of weeks ago, the lineup that he will face. Bulldogs will send 5 left-handed hitters to the order when you factor in Garrett Fry, the switch hitter, down in the 5 spot. But Aiden Teal and Ace Reese, and all the way down in the 9 hole, the leading batting average hitter in the SEC, Bryce Chance, batting .457 down in the 9 spot, 7 for 12 on the weekend. Jay, this is the same lineup that State used all weekend long. A lot of that predicated upon right-handed pitching.
Yeah, that's something to me, one of the strengths of Mississippi State this year is the ability to kind of match up with different type of starting pitchers. They've got a guy, you know, in Jacob Parker, you see him play a lot against righties, and then you get a guy that can play against lefties. So they have some flexibility in that lineup that really is pretty unheard of in today's college baseball.
And Crabtree's 0-1, swung on and missed. We talked about Crabtree 2 weeks ago against Ole Miss. He drew the start down in Hattiesburg, and he went 3 innings against Ole Miss in a start. No runs, 1 hit. Struck out 2, didn't walk anybody. Threw 36 pitches in the 3 innings of that game. That ball ripped into right field and is going to drop in front of Tunsmeyer out there, and Aiden Teal has a leadoff single.
Gonna look like a split finger up in the zone, and it was an 0-2 split too. It just kind of stayed up there and hung, and Aiden didn't just barrel it, but he hit it good enough to get it out there into right field.
And here is Ace Reese. Reese batting .348. It's cooled off a little bit of late. Got 12 doubles and 7 home runs. Had a home run in the game on Sunday against Vanderbilt. State coming off a sweep of Vanderbilt. Won the series finale 17-7 in 7 innings. You don't have the same weather in the same field tonight that you saw on Sunday. You had temperatures in the mid-80s. The wind was blowing out. 70 degrees, not a whole lot of wind at the ballpark. Should have a decent crowd here tonight.
Yeah, it starts warming up here. Ever since they built those lofts, when it starts heating up, the ball just flies. And I think you saw a little bit of that Sunday.
Here's the 0-1. And fouled off to the left side, and that will get out of play. Ace Reese leading the league in doubles, 5th in RBIs, 10th in hits. And Jay, the thing when I look at Ace Reese this year, his ability to use all fields has been such a big key.
100%. When he's hitting that ball to left center like that.
That right there. A guy that's not over swinging, he just took the pitch that was given to him. Crabtree gave him something over the plate on the 0-2, and Ace Reese goes the other way, and back-to-back singles for State here in the bottom of the first.
This is what you call maturing as a hitter. I mean, a few times last year we'd see Ace try to pull that ball and maybe hit a double play or pop up, but he stays right with it and just – there's a saying, you take what the pitcher gives you, and that was not a bad pitch, but Ace just did a great job of hitting and staying behind it.
And now Noah Sullivan coming to the plate. Noah Sullivan batting .382 on the season, 2nd on the team in hitting behind Bryce Chance. And Jay, you start looking at the top of this order with Ace Reese and Noah Sullivan. You start thinking about veteran at bats, and Noah Sullivan's a guy that doesn't mind using all the fields.
Yep, he is what they call a professional hitter, and he goes deep in the counts most games. You see him, he doesn't mind hitting with 2 strikes, and that's the thing. If a hitter does not mind hitting with 2 strikes, he's going to get a lot of good pitches to hit because he's going to see more pitches. And Noah's one of those guys. He don't mind hitting 1-2. He don't like it, but he feels confident with 2 strikes. He can still barrel the ball up.
And now it's where he sees it himself now at 0-2. So down in the count, 0-2. Now, what makes it tough to put a guy like Sullivan away? You're an old pitcher. What are you doing right here?
Well, the problem a pitcher has is Noah's going to give in, and he's going to shorten himself up. So, one, it's going to be harder to fool him necessarily and get him out of the zone like that. I mean, he doesn't chase a lot out of the zone. He doesn't overswing, and he'll use from the left field line to the right field line, and those type of guys are dangerous. I mean, so you can make an argument, honestly. It's, I remember in the national championship year that Mississippi State won it, they said sometimes it seems like they didn't even start hitting to 2 strikes. Well, that's kind of Noah's approach.
1-2 the count. Thomas Crabtree giving up a single to Teal to start it, then Ace Reese with a single. And this is outside with a slider. Now they count 2-2. Christian Ostrander, down his 3rd season as a head coach at Southern Miss. Try to locate the fastball outside, and they count 3-2.
I mean, this is just what he does as a hitter. He takes you from 0-2, and you look up, and you're 3-2, and he's kind of swung the count back around in his favor.
There's Christian Ostrander. Played at Delta State and been around the state for a while. Spent some time over at La Tech as a pitching coach and back in Hattiesburg. Foul pitch straight back. 3-2 the count. You think about the Southern Miss program, and Jay, you and I kind of a little bit of the same age. We think of Scott Berry, or Hill Denson first. Yep. Hill Denson, then Scott Berry, and of course Corky Palmer in there as well. And what makes Christian Ostrander different than those guys, but keeping that Southern Miss program rolling?
Well, one, he's obviously a very good coach, and you know he's going to be ball 4 and a walk to Noah. But what the Southern Miss, to me, mentality of their baseball program is they grind it out, tough at bats, tough pitches. You know, it's just kind of a relentless kind of competitiveness, and Christian has taken that was built by Coach Denson and Scott Berry and Corky Palmer and those guys, and he's just kept that same kind of philosophy, and it shows up with these guys.
And Christian Ostrander out of the dugout and coming out to have a word with Thomas Crabtree. Southern Miss had some activity down at the bullpen already going. See if they will make that move here early on. No, this is just going to be a visit. Just try to compose everything. All in one, pitching coach and head coach Christian Ostrander. Had Southern Miss hosting a regional last year. He goes off to a 19-5 start early on. There you see Armistead down in the pen.
Tell you what, that's not easy to do either, what Christian's doing, being the pitching coach and the head coach. You know, pitching takes so much time with development and reps, and to be the head coach and the pitching coach is tough.
Here's Reed Stallman, the first pitch to him down and in, ball 1. Back-to-back singles to start the bottom of the 1st inning, and then a walk to Noah Sullivan, and the bases are loaded and nobody out. Try to bust him in again with a fastball. And Jay, this is the dangerous pitch right here. What do you do on 2-0?
Well, you know, it's early in the game, so you say, well, we're going to challenge him. But really, to me, you can't necessarily challenge a guy like Reed Stallman. I mean, hopefully you can locate some kind of secondary pitch and get a cheap strike out of it.
They'll try to locate the fastball down and away. Stallman's got 4 home runs on the season. He's got some pop with the bat. Had a 2-run home run in the game on Sunday. Had 4 hits in that game. Went 4 for 5 with a couple doubles. He fouled it back again, and now Crabtree battling back to even the count at 2-2.
2 balls right there. Reed probably wish he had back too, especially that 2-1 fastball. That looked like a good pitch to hit. Crabtree may have got away with one there.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got a backdoor slider. And Stallman strikes out, and the big first out to get for Crabtree.
Well, nice pitch right there. I mean, he just located a heck of an off-speed pitch on 2-2, and to fall behind 2-0 on a hitter like Reed Stallman, that's big-time pitching to be able to swing that count back around and make that kind of pitch on 2-2.
Here's Garrick Fry. Bulldogs second baseman, switch hitter, batting from the left side. It lays off the fastball high. Jay, sometimes you hear pitching coaches talk about all fastballs aren't created equal. It's about when you have to throw them. Comes right back on the 1-0 and gets the fastball strike, and you start talking about pitching in hitters' counts versus pitching in pitchers' counts.
Yeah, no pitcher wants to be in those 2-1, 2-0, 1-0 counts for sure. And if you can stay out of those, you can usually have some success.
Knocked down by Stockman, the catcher, and the count 2 balls and a strike.
And we talked about Chris Billingsley a little bit for Mississippi State. That's been a lot of his issues. Obviously the walks, but it's not just the walks. It's the inability to command the ball and stay out of those bad counts, and that's really just kind of killed him this year so far.
Well, you look back, he really passed the test in the first, and he got a big double play ball. Here's a 2-1. And a ball back up the middle and into center field for the solid single. Teal scores from third. Here comes Ace Reese. It's a 2 RBI single for Garrick Fry, and the Bulldogs have the early 2-0 lead.
Well, Garrick Fry, you talked about earlier, the ability to match up, and he's one of those guys you see a lot against right-handed pitchers. And he got a 1-1 fastball and was down, and he's a low ball hitter. He did exactly what you need to do with it, hit it back up through the middle, and that's what Garrick did, scored those 2 runs. And, you know, Crabtree's really one of your weekend guys, so this is something, he's up to 22 pitches. It's going to be it for him, and I'm sure Christian Ostrander does not want to see him get extended.
So Southern Miss going to go to the bullpen here in the bottom of the first inning as Mississippi State has taken the early 2-0 lead. Armistead going to come in, the right-hander. He pitched against State back on March the 3rd. Morville, Mississippi native, a former trooper of Morville High School. Pitched at Itawamba Community College, ICC. Jay pitched against State a couple of weeks ago. Pitched an inning, struck out a couple. See, making his 11th appearance of the year, and a little bit more downward action than Crabtree.
Yeah. He's kind of a low 3/4, almost sidearm guy, really. He's got pretty good fastball. It's going to be 88 to 90, 92. Slider, changeup guy, and he's, of course, very, very good, I would assume, to righties. He's been a well-used guy. This would be his 12th appearance, and only out of those 12 appearances, only 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts. Kind of a matchup guy, really. You think about the lefty. That's kind of what Armstead is. He's kind of a right-handed matchup guy, so he's going to come in and try to get him out of here with Woodson come to the plate.
Only pitched in 2 games last year against Old Dominion and Georgia State. A couple of years ago, his first year in Southern Miss, pitched in 8 games, all in relief. And Armistead will face Ryder Woodson with runners at first and second and 1 down in the bottom of the first inning. Back-to-back singles by Aiden Teal and Ace Reese. They've come around to score. Ryder Woodson, sophomore shortstop, batting just a tick below 300, 299. 4 home runs, 17 RBIs. The first base umpire, Eric Gaucher, came in to have a word with J.W. Armistead. And now Brian O'Connor is coming out to talk to the home plate umpire, Josh Gilreath, to say, hey, what's going on right here?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. We saw the first base umpire was the one that kind of stop the action, so to speak. And I don't know if he, yeah, it's a ball. It's definitely a ball, but I don't know what he had the conversation with Armistead about.
And now time taken by Eric Gaucher, first base umpire, walking back in to talk to the pitcher. Now Christian Ostrander saying, okay, hey, what's going on? Is it?
Well, what he's saying is, you can see Armistead he is on the far first base side of the rubber, and you just have to be in contact with the rubber, and you can tell there's some dirt on top of that corner. So the first base umpire, from his view, he can't tell if he's in contact with that rubber or not. So that's what that was all about. He wants to make sure he's in contact with the rubber.
Yeah, all the way on that first base side.
I mean, it's just he's got a toe basically hanging. Look, he's got a toe hanging on that dude, and that's it.
Ground ball headed to left field. Ryder Woodson singles. Coming around to score, Noah Sullivan. And Mississippi State has a 3-0 lead. The fourth Bulldogs single of the bottom of the first.
A piece of hitting by Ryder Woodson. He gets a kind of a sinker out over the plate, and he hit it to left field, hit it well. And, you know, Armistead, he wants to get over on that side. I'm sure he's got a lot of kind of arm side run, and he's trying to keep that ball on the plate and not let it run inside, I'm assuming. But that's kind of rare to see a pitcher that far over there, especially facing a righty, as most of the time he probably does.
And now Jacob Parker will be the batter. So there is the question. If you're the drop down guy, is it just because you're feeling the arm side run? Because if you get on the third base side pitching to a right-handed hitter, it's almost like it's coming out of left field.
100%. It's going to have a lot more deception as far as a hitter. That's something I'm assuming that the pitcher feels that, you know, okay, I've got to get this far over to be able to keep that ball on the plate when I go away to a lefty or in to a righty. So that's it's just kind of a tricky thing for him.
Well, here's a guy that's had a great week last week. Jacob Parker, the freshman from Purvis, Mississippi, close to Hattiesburg. Freshman of the week in the SEC. This past week hit .545. Was on base. Jay, the ball just bounces. It just jumps off his bat.
Sure does. He's got some big-time strength, and one of the few lefties you see that's a high ball hitter. I don't see that many times with left-handed hitters. Most of them are low ball hitters. They like to get that ball down in the zone, but he is a high ball hitting machine.
1-2 count to Parker. Takes it up and away. Hit a home run earlier this year, though, on a pitch that was in his eyes.
Yep.
Got a fastball up and rocketed out of the ballpark. And Parker's hit 3 home runs this year. He's got 3 doubles. And 2-2. Went down and fouls that pitch off. Yeah, you start thinking about that honey spot for the left-handed hitters is down and in. Sometimes those righties don't want to go down and into the left-handed hitter because it's that slider gets in their zone, but Parker's kind of opposite.
He is, and you can get that slider, you can get down underneath his bat and kind of at his back foot. If you leave it on the plate, he's going to hammer it, but if you get it down there, he'll swing over it.
Chop, first baseman is going to field it. Russo will step on the bag. Runners reach second and third as Parker grounds out. Nice job by Russo, making the play over at first. And now 2 outs in the inning for Kevin Milewski.
And that was the pitch there. I mean, a lot of lefties are going to hit that ball hard, but it kind of gets down underneath the barrel a little bit of Jacob Parker, and he just topped it to first base.
Milewski started all the games this weekend at catcher, hitting .222. Injured a good portion of February and early March. Runs out of bat there. And kind of going back to the point, when you drop it down and you throw that off-speed pitch, it's almost like a frisbee coming up there.
100%. It starts at him and keeps on going.
Ran out of bat again, same pitch. So you've seen that on the first 2 pitches. Do you go right back to it?
I think you do. After seeing those first couple swings, I wouldn't try to trick him. I'd go right back to it and take it a little bit further out.
And it got him. Swing and a miss. Milewski strikes out swinging, and that will end the first inning. Well, the Bulldogs put 3 on the board on 4 hits in the bottom of the first. Now the early 3-0 lead over Southern Miss. Jay Powell honored back in 2021. Look at him.
Yes, sir, young man.
Got the tie. Have the induction in a couple of weeks, the Ron Polk Ring of Honor, the new class. Chris Billingsley steps in. Matthew Russo will bat for Southern Miss. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 against Chris Billingsley here in the second. This year, Buck Showalter, Chris Stratton, Alex Grammas. Good cast of characters there.
Yep. My old manager, Buck Showalter, going to get inducted.
0-2 count to Russo. Comes in batting .261. Chases a pitch down, and a strikeout for Chris Billingsley, his second of the game.
Good slider down in the strike zone after 2 fastballs. You can see it just starts middle of the zone, and that's the kind of stuff that Mississippi State saw from Billingsley at East Central. And I tell you, they really like his stuff, love his arm.
Here's Dre Barrett, who had the 3-run home run back in the first inning against State down in Hattiesburg on March the 3rd. Kind of set the tone for Southern Miss to take the early lead. Jay, you talk about Buck Showalter being your manager out of Texas. See, on that team, Raphael was on that team, right?
Yep. Got to see,
Marcus Timms was on that team?
Slick was on that team. Great man, good teammate. Turned himself into a really good coach in professional baseball.
Yeah, Marcus played at East Central Community College. That's where Billingsley's from. 1-1.
Yeah, we had 3. Raphael, I'm assuming my memory's getting worse, but I think it was his 500th home run I got to see.
Ground ball, back up the middle. Second baseman Fry rounds it off, makes the throw in time for the out. And a good job by Garrick Fry. You know, you think back to Fry last year. They tried to start him out at second base. He hadn't really played a whole lot of second, but there's a guy who's worked hard on his craft in the offseason.
Yep, you're exactly right. And you know, really, the bat was never a question with Garrick Fry. You knew he could swing the bat. It was just where can he play. We've seen him play the corner outfield a little bit. But he has made himself into a above-average defensive second baseman.
There's Gray Eubanks, the DH. Eubanks batting .357, making his 4th start of the year. freshman from Huntington, Tennessee. 5 hits and 14 at bats. Limited action. You kind of wondered coming into the game because Billingsley has been used exclusively out of the bullpen, and sometimes throwing a guy into that starting role may be the switch that flips.
Yep, and that's one of those things that, you know, we see it with, I mean, with Mississippi State. You've seen it with Charlie Foster a little bit. You know, he struggled out of the rotation. Normally, it's the opposite. Normally, you take a starter and throw him in that bullpen, he does better. But, I mean, Chris has been outstanding so far tonight.
State's got the shift on with a ground ball to the left side, and Travis Creel. 7th season in Hattiesburg for Travis Creel. He's a third base coach. Ben Brewer over the first base coaching box for the Golden Eagles. Here's a 1-2. And fouled it back again.
You know, I've watched the shift, and over the course of all the years that I've been doing some college baseball, and it's, you know, sometimes you question it, but if you watch it enough, I think the percentages play out.
2-2. 2 quick outs here in the second. Billingsley gave up the leadoff single in the first inning, then quickly got a double play ball hit by Kyle Morrison, struck out Gillespie, a strikeout and a ground out to start the second, the 2-2. And chopped just inside the bag at third. So he inside outs the swing. Over to cut it off, Bryce Chance. Runner going to try to get 2, and sliding in safely with a double is Gray Eubanks.
Well, that's the part sometimes with that shift that scares you as a coach. You got a hard thrower on there, and it just tied him up and kind of jammed him, but he was able to hit it right down the line. And Bryce played this ball great. And I tell you, a good throw, he might have a shot at Eubanks going into second base, but he threw it offline a little bit. Good job, too, by Eubanks with 2 outs. You want to be aggressive and try to get to second base.
So a runner at second with 2 outs, and Tucker Stockman, the catcher, will be the batter. The first pitch foul back. Jay, is there a difference from a mentality standpoint about getting ready for a start versus knowing when you're going to throw in a high leverage situation out of the pen?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's a totally different preparation as far as a starter. You know, and honestly, that was majority. I threw 500-something games out of the bullpen in the major leagues, never had a start. And I preferred it like that. I wanted to come to the field every day knowing I had a chance to play. But some guys don't like that. They want to know when they're going to pitch to prepare for it.
Now, relievers will tell you a lot of times it's because the starters want to play golf.
Well, and I'll tell you what, there's a lot more money starting, too. There's a whole lot more money starting. That's what I tell everybody. They say, well, I think I can throw out the bullpen. I say, no, you need to stay in that rotation. You get a lot more commas in your paycheck in that rotation. But, yeah, and it is. It's a different mindset, though.
Runner at second, the 1-2. And the fastball pulls through it, keeps it outside, and the count now 2-2.
And I don't consider myself, you know, one of these adrenaline junkies, but from the pitching standpoint, I was definitely an adrenaline junkie. I mean, I wanted to be in that moment.
Foul tip off the mid of Milewski, and Stockman got just a piece of it to stay alive.
Kevin probably wish he had that one back. It was a cutter right there on the outside corner, and really good pitch by Billingsley, but he just fouled it right down into the mid, off of it.
Two again. And off the mid of Milewski that time, and now the count's full.
Well, it's a good-looking pitch right there, and it's one of those, if he catches it, it might have been strike 3.
And now the count full. Ground ball up the middle. Here's Fry again. And that will end the inning. So Chris Billingsley works around the 2-out double to Eubanks. And we go to the bottom of the second inning, and Mississippi State with a 3-0 lead over Southern Miss. Tuesday night, Mississippi State leading Southern Miss 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the second inning. And there's Brian O'Connor. He's been 22 years as a head coach at Virginia, now in his first season here in Starkville. Of course, won a national championship 2015. College World Series 7 times. And boy, he has really taken a hold to the Starkville community, and the Starkville community has taken a hold of him.
Yes, sir, they have. And you know, if you spend a lot of time with him, you realize he is a very disciplined, intense individual. And, you know, having some of the guys in the summer that we coached that played for him, every one of them talked about how much they loved him, not only as a coach, but as a man. And Henry Ford was one of them now at Tennessee, and he said, Coach, he said, when you leave there, you're going to leave there a better man.
3-0 lead for State. Here's Bryce Chance. Drake Meeks, the new pitcher. The breaking ball strike. Third pitcher for Southern Miss. Crabtree started. Armistead came in and got the final 2 outs. Drake Meeks from Briarwood Christian over the Birmingham area. Swung on and missed, and the count 0-2. All right, Bryce Chance batting .457. Jay, 10 of his 32 hits have been extra base hits. He's got 22 singles and 10 doubles. As a pitcher, how frustrating is it to pitch to a guy like Bryce Chance?
It's incredibly frustrating. I would rather pitch to any of these other guys, because, you know, he's one of those guys that he very rarely goes out of the strike zone. He doesn't overswing. You're going to have to get him out in the strike zone, and that's a tough guy to face as a pitcher. I mean, that's what made a lot of the greatest hitters. You look in my generation, you look at the Tony Gwynns and some of those guys, is, you know, Sammy Sosa and McGuire never gave me any issues, but the guys that you have to get out in the strike zone, those are guys that's tough.
Breaking ball popped him up. He's only struck out 3 times this year, and the breaking ball sent high in the air, and Urban, the center fielder, comes in to make the catch, and Bryce Chance is retired. And you start thinking about, as you get older and more of a veteran, is he one of those guys you just say, okay, I'm going to throw you a 2-seam fastball. If you hit it, you hit it?
I tried that with Tony Gwynn one time. He spun my hat. but yeah, you just try to, you know, there's times where you say, look, I don't, you know, he hits the ball away, hits the ball in, but he knows, Bryce Chance knows who he is. He knows what kind of player he is. He knows what he can do. He knows what he can't do. And knowing what you can't do sometimes is just as important as knowing what you can do.
Here's Aiden Teal. Takes a pitch high and tight, ball 1. He singled to right field to get the bottom of the first started, and then scored in the inning on the 2-run single by Garrick Fry. State got the first 3 aboard the first inning, a single by Teal, a single by Reese, and a walk to Noah Sullivan. Off the starter, Thomas Crabtree. Well, you can close the book on Crabtree now. A third of an inning, 3 runs, all earned on 3 hits. 1-1 foul back. Armistead, the final 2/3 of an inning. He gave up a single, but the run that scored on that single, Woodson driving in Sullivan, of course, charged to the starter, Crabtree. One-two, ripped down the right field side and foul. Well, nice crowd tonight down on the berm. This is a good, solid midweek crowd.
100%. I don't want to take a guess, but it's going to be one of the larger midweek crowds probably the last few years.
1-2, grounded up the middle, off the second base bag. And that killed it, and you thought for a moment that Teal might try to get aggressive as that ball just died when it got to the outfield. A good job by Joey Urban, the center fielder, to get to it in a hurry. But a 1-out single by Aiden Teal, and he has his second hit.
Well, a good job, obviously going back up the middle with it is Aiden Teal, and he gets a little pull happy. And I don't think that Sale Smith would have had a shot at it, but especially once that ball hit that bag.
And now Ace Reese will come to the plate. He singled to left field, went the other way with an 0-2 pitch back in the first.
think Ace has really helped himself draft-wise. And, you know, you look at his numbers, there's nothing. I mean, it's not like he's got 15 home runs or nothing's really crazy, but you look up there and it's so productive. He's got the doubles, the home runs, RBIs, the runs.
Off the end of the bat, past the pitcher, tough play, throw across, in time for the out. Well, that's a do-or-die play by the left side of the infield, and Dre Barrett, the third baseman, had zero margin for error.
Yeah, he did, especially once it got by that pitcher, Meeks. It was pretty much it, and he barehanded it, and the ball was still rolling, so it was definitely a do-or-die play, and a nice play by Barrett. It was not easy. That ball a lot of times, too, comes off in the bat. It's hopping around. It's jumping on you. It's a good job of staying with it.
And so 2 outs in the inning. The runner Teal moves into scoring position to second, and Noah Sullivan will come to the plate. Well, with first base open here early, does that really make a difference, Jay, this early in a game?
Not to me, no. I mean, if you just fall behind him, you may not want to just totally give in to him. But, I mean, with Reed Stallman on the deck, and that's what makes it so tough for these 2, 3, and 4 guys, is you can't really pitch around any of them.
And gets a fastball at 95 over the outside corner. Noah Sullivan drew a walk his first time up and later scored in the inning on the RBI single by Ryder Woodson. Breaking ball, grounded left side and into left field. Aiden Teal will round third. He'll come around. Here's a throw to the plate, and it's not in time. And an RBI single for Noah Sullivan gives Mississippi State a 4-0 lead.
Just Noah Sullivan doing what he does, really. I mean, he got a ball outside, and he kind of wrapped it into that 6-hole. And 2 outs, you know, Mississippi State's going to be aggressive and send Aiden Teal all the way through, and they definitely did. And a 2-out RBI right now for Noah Sullivan.
And so the inning stays alive for Reed Stallman. State scored 3 in the first, now 1 run here in the second, have a 4-0 lead over Southern Miss.
It's one thing you see with this Southern Miss bullpen, I think this year that's been a little bit different than last year's. They have some power arms in that bullpen. The separation a lot of times from the SEC to some of the other conferences is that pen, and there's not a lot of separation this year with the velocity and the power of the arms.
And a lot of young power arms.
Sure is.
2-0. That ball ripped into right field and hit well. Tunsmeyer kind of lost it a little bit. That ball knuckling, and William Tunsmeyer goes to his knees to make the catch. Stallman hit it right on the screws, but out. But the Bulldogs add a run in the bottom of the second inning. Stay with a 4-0 lead. Cole Gordon's going to join us for the third inning. Mississippi State out in front, out of the gate. early 4-0 lead over Southern Miss. 4 runs on 6 hits for the Dogs. Southern Miss coming to the plate in the top of the 3rd inning. Jack Bauer going to check in and become the second pitcher of the night for Mississippi State. Joining us now, Cole Gordon here in the booth. Cole, 2016 to 2019, and part of the College World Series team in 2018, 2019. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be up here. I'm glad y'all have me. This is best view in the house up here.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got Jay over there. Yeah. So we got, Cole was a guy who started some, and then he came on and relieved some. Jay was talking about how he was exclusively out of the bullpen in the big leagues. But Jay, you started some here, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Pokey run me out there one game, throw me in the bullpen the next.
You got to use that arm as much as you can.
Absolutely.
Here's Jack Bauer, hard-throwing left-hander, and that's nice and easy, 99.
Looks like a young Cole Gordon.
The only thing that matches is the number.
I'm with you on the velocity. I wasn't close to that.
Yeah, you wore the 24 too, didn't you?
I did, and he makes that look so effortless at 99. It's impressive the way he can just repeat that delivery and make that velocity out of it.
A breaking ball. And that was the pitch that looked so good that first time out.
They're doing a lot of work in the pen. I've heard Justin Parker talk about it. He hadn't thrown really in a couple weeks.
Slider swung on and missed, and Seth Smith strikes out swinging, and Jack Bauer looks really good. He comes out of the gate with that fastball, but back-to-back sliders, and it's kind of how you do it. You just set them up with fastball. You come back with back-to-back breaking stuff.
Yeah, I don't think you have to be paying attention much to Mississippi State to know that stuff's not going to be his issue out there.
The 99 makes that slider look pretty good. Lord of mercy.
Here's Tunsmeyer, 9-hole hitter.
Seeing the 100.
He just looked like he just flipped it out of his finger at 100 miles per hour. And Tunsmeyer's going. You'll have to check it out.
Travis Creel going to call time, and it's one of those situations. You've got a freshman out on the mound, and let's just try to break a little momentum
100%.
here.
Get him out of his rhythm. Jack struggled this year so far a little bit was the strike zone. And, one thing they've tried to do with Jack Bauer is, and I'm sure somebody's going to correct me on this, but that perceived velocity about release point. And he doesn't release the ball very far down the mound. He gets a little side to side. And so sometimes that 99 looks like it's about 93, and they've kind of been working on that.
And a fastball, once again at 100, foul straight back.
I know, Jay, you talked about the command. That's what I love about this inning so far for him. He's come out and attacked the zone with every pitch. Even the sliders that are off the zone are competitive pitches.
100%.
There's the 0-2. It bounces up there. Cole, you pitched in the old ballpark and in this new ballpark. 2016 and 17 in the old park. And then when they built this one, and you start thinking about a Southern Miss team that hits a lot of home runs and they have pop in the bat, how does this ballpark pitch comparatively to what you saw your first 2 years?
The first 2 years, it really felt like the park played big, and that could have been partially to the new BB-Core bats that came out and partially to the old stadium. This park still has its days. It depends on the wind. It can play big. It's not as small as Southern is when you go to home runs.
A fly ball lifted into the outfield, ranging over Aiden Teal. He's there to make the catch. And 2 quick outs for Jack Bauer here in the top of the 3rd.
And this, to me, is the biggest at-bat coming up. You get 2 quick outs as a freshman. Can he get back into the zone and make this inning count right here and walk away with some confidence?
Urban got a single his first time up. Jay, you've been in the coaching ranks for a while now. You start understanding velocity. And when Bauer came in and came on campus, everybody talked about the 103.
Yep.
All right, and you start thinking about there's so many times in high school guys that throw a pitch and they turn around and want to know what it was. Pitchability.
100%.
Is he a better pitcher at 90? Is he a better?
I don't want to hear it, Bart.
Is he a better pitcher at 97?
When he drops it down to 99, absolutely. there's something to that, believe it or not. And I know what you're trying to say, and I'm almost wanting to punch you for saying he's taking something off at 99. But no, I mean, look, it's about controlling your delivery, controlling your energy level on that mound, and learning who you are. And look, he's still 99 to 100 miles per hour, but he's so much more in control. I mean, you saw the 1-1 changeup. I mean, he hadn't thrown that all year. And just to be able to throw an 87-mile-per-hour changeup with good arm speed, good movement, I mean, that's a pitch we have not seen all year. And it's like Cole said, everything he's throwing is competitive in the strike zone.
Here's a 2-2.
Love that.
And lifted into center field for Aiden Teal. And a quick 1-2-3 inning for Jack Bauer. Gets a strikeout, a couple of flyouts. Cole's going to sit in with us for the bottom of the third as well. Mississippi State leading Southern Miss 4-0. The bullpen, the fourth pitcher of the night for Southern Miss, the 6'2 freshman from Ellisville, former South Jones Brave, Dylan Causey will come in. Started the game against State back on March the 3rd, and in that game that night threw just an inning and had success against Mississippi State. Struck out one, no runs, no hit, threw just 10 pitches. Southern Miss used 9 pitchers that night down in Hattiesburg, and so Dylan Causey coming out.
Seems like a very similar game plan that they had the first time, just in different orders, maybe seeing them in different times, hopefully get to a different part of the batting order, let those hitters only see you one time.
I think you're right, I'm assuming if you can keep it close, you get a chance to win. You know, you got your end of the guy, the pen bullpen guys you can bring in, and Causey he's been good for him. He's a true freshman, and so far in the year he's got 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, no earned. No walks, 4 strikeouts, 88, 92, slot, little cutter, curveball, changeup, split type of guy. But strike thrower, and he's been good for him this year.
Well, you think about what Causey was able to do last year at South Jones. I mean, he put the team on their back. They went to the state championship series. They lost to Lafayette in the 5A championship series. Threw a no-hitter against Natchez. And the first pitch to Garrick Fry is fouled off. Garrick Fry had a 2-run single back in the first inning. You start thinking about, Cole as a freshman. You too, Jay. I mean, coming in as a freshman this time last year, you're pitching in the high school ranks. How tough is it coming in? And it's not just a big crowd here in Stark. Well, Dylan Causey pitches in front of big crowds in Hattiesburg as well. What's the biggest adjustment from being a high school senior to being a collegiate freshman?
I would think it's just the consistency and being able to find your breath and find your footing. It's the same distance at 60 feet, 6 inches. The moment is what gets bigger as you get through the rankings. And so, when you get to an environment like this, it's being able to settle yourself in on the mound and do what you've been doing your whole life. And then, if you let the external circumstances take over, then you'll get out of your body and it won't work. But if you can do what you do and trust your stuff, it works out more times than it doesn't.
Yep, the ability to slow the game down. And, people always ask me what's the difference between AA and the big leagues. And the kids that pitch in AA are plenty good to pitch in the big leagues. It's just a lot of times the ability, they just can't slow themselves down and get too caught up, and the moment gets too big.
Is there something you tell a guy when you're coaching? If you're Christian Ostrander, what's the first thing you tell a guy coming from high school to the first year in college of how do you make yourself slow down?
I just believe you have to buy into your preparation. If you believe in what you've worked on and you believe that confidence comes from not only from your coach but from yourself and how your coach will prepare, how your coach will prepare you, and how you buy into that, it gives you the confidence to be able to go out there and compete because you know you've put the work in to be able to be ready for it.
3-2 and fouled it back.
Cole, you know, I always say this, and I don't take anything. That 2021 team was a national champion, and you know, you look at different teams that go down to that World Series. I always say the 2019 team, to me, was one of the most talented groups that we have taken out there. I always thought that group was really good.
No, I agree. You look up and down that lineup, it's just riddled with highly talented and highly successful players. And I think the same way about 2016's team.
Yep.
Lineup top to bottom, bullpen, arms, all of it. It's you know, it's not always about the best team that gets there. You know, you have to have things on your right side and be playing your best ball at that time. But not to take away anything from the 21 team, what they did was incredible, historical, and obviously a lot of talent in that group as well.
And that's for all you fans of Southern Miss, Ole Miss, Mississippi, whoever, it's a great lesson to learn because you can have a great team and at the end of the year, you just, you know, you kind of, it's not that you're playing bad, but you run into a buzzsaw and you just don't get it done. I mean, the 2022 team that Ole Miss took out there, they were the last group in and got hot at the right time, and next thing you know, they're national champions.
And Jay, you start thinking about, you mentioned 2019 in that lineup.
Yep.
And that's when people ask about 2026 Mississippi State, and you start thinking about Bryce Chance batting in the 9-hole. In 2019, Marshall Gilbert was batting in the 9-hole. That was a guy who could hit.
Absolutely.
And you start thinking about 18 and 19, but also, and this you can carry this to Mississippi State and Southern Miss. You think about hosting a regional last year for Southern Miss, and definitely not taking anything away from the 21 team, but you had a bunch of guys who had been to the College World Series, who had understood what it's like to be in Omaha for a couple of weeks in a long period of time, and you start thinking about how that helps a Southern Miss team that hosted a regional last year. And you start talking about slowing down the heart rate, and what slows it down is having the experiences.
Exactly.
1-1 to count to Ryder Woodson. Had an RBI single his last time up. Garrick Fry leading off with a single here in the third inning. Bulldogs have 7 hits already. Jay, isn't that the great equalizer? Runner going, pitches down, and Stockman dropped it, and the stolen base for Garrick Fry. But just doing things, as the old adage of doing something 10,000 times makes you a master of your craft, but just doing it.
I always laugh that, you know, I had coaches that would tell you need to be confident when you get out there, and I'm like, well, I ain't got anybody out in 3 weeks. I mean, until you go do it, you can't. But you know, it's like when the 2019 group that goes out there and this Southern Miss team that went out there last. I mean, it's just you go out there and you kind of know what to expect. You know what you get it. You know the way it's going to set up. You know when your practice is going to be, and it's just not overwhelming. And I think that has a lot to do with these teams that you look up and they go out there one year and the next year they win it. I mean, it's just the experience is just incredible for these guys to get.
2-2. And Woodson pops it back.
Well, you know, an experience is the one thing you can't coach. You either have the opportunity to get it or you don't. And that's why it's so valuable to a team. And when you have older guys that can lead and kind of guide those younger guys' minds of what it's going to look like and what to expect, it allows you to be more comfortable in that environment and settle in a little quicker. And that's why these teams like Southern, when they've made those runs in the past, they can be so dangerous, especially early in the year for teams that are young but talented, because they understand what this moment, you know, what it takes to be here and win. And so that's why these teams can be so dangerous throughout the season.
2-2 the count. Woodson's been solid with runners in scoring position this year, batting .290. That RBI back in the first inning was the 18th of the year for Ryder Woodson. Two.
Oh.
That ball ripped down the left field line. It is hooking near the foul pole, and it is foul.
Oh.
Well, they got all of it.
He sure did.
But yanks it just foul. Close to that Cool Papa Bell Plaza beyond the third base bullpen.
That's a hard call, too, for an umpire. I mean, because I guess we should call it technically a fair pole. But it only goes up so far, and when that ball's going over it, you can't tell if it's hooking inside it, if it's outside it, when it's that high. It was a hit a ton, I know that.
2-2 off the end of the bat.
That's a great job. You have the long fly ball there on a foul ball. You feel like it got the inside corner of it, and now you got to get back in there and fight with 2 strikes. And I think that's a good job fouling off that pitch here, get him something a little better to see, and get that RBI in.
Runner at second, nobody out. Third inning. Couldn't get the chase. Blocked up nicely by Stockman, the catcher.
And I think this is what's great about this Mississippi State team is, Ryder not having a ton of college at-bats under his belt, but this is a very mature at-bat in how he's handled this, taking the foul ball, fouling one off, seeing the dirt, to stay locked in during that time. It's a mature at-bat beyond his years.
And really, you didn't know a lot of what Mississippi State was getting with him because he didn't have a lot of at-bats at NC State. Really showed out in that regional.
And he takes a pitch down, and that's ball 4, and a 11-pitch walk to Ryder Woodson. So a single, stolen base, and now a walk. 2 aboard, nobody out. And Jacob Parker will be the batter. And the catcher Stockman going to go out and talk to Dylan Causey. You start thinking about it. You look at Causey. Hit 341 last year in high school. Both of you guys came in here as dual position players. And how difficult was that? A lot of people say, well, okay, we're going to go out and we start thinking about roster limits today. If you can get a guy that's a dual position player and play him in the outfield, he can pitch. But there's not many guys that do that much anymore coming in as freshmen that can pitch and play in the field. How tough was it? In Cole, you started out at the plate and then went to the mound. There's a lot of guys that start on the mound and they're like, okay, I'm just going to be a hitter.
Yeah.
When is the deciding factor in that? Is it early in your career?
For me, I was flirting with both throughout the whole time, and then it came to the point where, Rooker starts playing first base, and that's the bat that needs to be in the lineup, and then you just try to find a way to help your team win. Oh, my.
That ball smoked to right field off the bat of Jacob Parker, and oh, my goodness. Swerve this Cadillac through Purvis. Line shot to right field, and the Purvis freshman got all of that one.
Might have hit it a lot longer if I could swing like that.
Yeah, we probably all would for sure. And we talk about him being a high ball hitter, and he got a fastball middle of the plate and hit it right up on top of that plaza down there, kind of where it comes out and juts out to the outfield. Look, it skipped off the top of the rail. And I tell you what, that's a big-time player for Mississippi State to get as a freshman. And let's see where it is. Yeah, about belt high. That ball's going to go a long way. Mistake, enter third, thigh high. Not a spot you want to throw Jacob Parker.
Skimmed the wall, and that will be all for Dylan Causey. So the freshman gives up a single, a walk, and then the line shot home run to right field by Jacob Parker. And Mississippi State opens up a 7-0 lead here in the bottom of the third. Well, Jacob Parker with a line drive home run. A 3-run shot to right field in the 3rd inning. And the Purvis freshman gives Mississippi State a 7-0 lead. And Southern Miss, Kevin Landry Farr, the right-hander from Proctor, Arkansas, will come in. He'll be the 5th pitcher of the night for Southern Miss.
Oh, and that's a little bit of an issue you start getting into now. We saw it in the first game with Southern Miss, and you know, they were able to stay in the game, so they kind of used their top-end bullpen guys and kept it close. Well, now you're getting into some of the lower-end guys, and from that standpoint, you know, it's good that you get some guys some innings and maybe not get some innings, but you kind of got to watch the game, too, and manage it. But as far as 88-90 fastball slider, this is going to be his 4th appearance on the year. Hadn't pitched a whole lot. He did pitch an inning back against Mississippi State, gave up 1 hit, 2 strikeouts on the 3rd. So this will be outing number 4 for him.
Yeah, and this is a great opportunity. A kid who obviously has stuff with the strikeouts in between the innings, and so a chance to come into this environment and see if you can settle down and pitch against competition like this.
Kevin Landry Farr pitching to Kevin Maluski. Had a big cut. We had difficulty with a slider early on with Armistead back in the 1st inning. Here's a 0-2. That ball ripped in the left field, and that's an adjustment right there. You start getting slider after slider after slider, and finally Maluski knew he was getting a slider on the 0-2 right there.
Yeah, and a lot of times I think with Maluski, that's his bat speed a little bit. He's got a little slider bat speed, so if you go and throw him one, he has a tendency to chase it, but you just got to get it out of the strike zone, and he left that one kind of middle of the plate out of 3rd.
And I think this game has been such a good example of what I think makes this team stand out so much to me. You know, we talk about the depth, we talk about the talent, all those things. And all those things are true. But you watch the 1st inning and this inning here, we get down 0-2 quickly, and just the maturity in the at-bats to stay in them, stay on those sliders in the zone, get 2-out hits. That's the difference that's going to carry them long in this season. You know, everyone has talent, everyone has those things, but the ability to buy into an approach and to be able to do those things with 2 outs as a collective group, not just 1 or 2 people, is what's really going to set them apart.
And here's Bryce Chance at the plate, flew out to center field his first time up, tried to lay down a bunt and fouled it off. Here's the 0-1. Popped him up, foul territory. Will it get out of play? Over by the first base dugout, and running out of room is Russo down in the camera window. All right, guess the exit velocity on the home run by Jacob Parker. Line drive. And so during the break, Jay, you went with what?
I went 108.
108, Cole. I went 111. Cole, you said
I
what?
was 112. That ball didn't get above head high.
Cole, you win the big piece of chicken. It was 113. Here's a 0-2.
And you know what I love watching about Parker's swing too is he's a big guy who has a lot of upside, but the swing is never too big. I mean, the last at bat before that, he was fouling off 2 strike pitches to the left side. When he finds one in the groove, he just has such a smooth swing through the zone that the power takes care of itself.
1-2 to Bryce Chance. The fastball's high, and now the count's even. Start thinking about the top of the order with Teal, Reese, Sullivan, and Reed Stallman. A good collection of hitters, but it's been the bottom of the Bulldog order that have put guys on base this season. And you go back to the point of 1 through 9, and it's really no breaks in the action, but the bottom of the order. You start thinking about Fry and Woodson and Parker and Maluski. Hit a home run in the game on Sunday, had a home run in the game on Friday, but Bryce Chance at the bottom. I mean, you talk about table setters at the bottom of the order. Runner goes on the 3-2, grounded right at the 3rd baseman. Barrett, no play at second, of course, with the runner moving. Tosses it across, 5-3 on the putout. Chance is retired. Maluski moves into scoring position down to second. Now 1 out, 1 on for Aiden Teal.
That's a great count to run in, 3-2 count. Trusting your hitter's going to put the ball in play somewhere or not swing a ball out of the zone. And it's a good job set of double play. And, you know, you talk about this group hitting. To me, one of the biggest differences in Mississippi State from this year and where they were last year is the situational hitting has been totally different for them so far this year, especially with guys in scoring position, runners at third with less than 2 outs. Those things have drastically improved.
It can be suffocating on the mound when you're just reeling, trying to find some point in that lineup's getting out. And these guys are putting together great at-bat after great at-bat, situational hitting, just like you said.
Yep.
It's just hard to find that gap. And when you're on the attack at the plate, it really will help not only just, you know, how you score runs, but how your pitching staff is able to settle in as well.
With the runs this inning, it's now 10 consecutive innings that State has scored.
Wow.
Scored in every inning in the game on Sunday. And now the first 3 at-bats here in the third. The 1-1. They try to bust him in again, and now the count 2-1. Bulldogs have 7 runs on 9 hits. Southern Miss no runs, 2 hits.
Teal has quietly been coming into his own here at Mississippi State. Off to a slow, there it is.
It's a fly ball, deep right field, Aiden Teal.
Wow.
A 2-run home run.
Not so quietly coming into his own anymore.
A 2-run shot, 101 off the bat. Aiden Teal gives Mississippi State a 9-0 lead.
That's why they love Aiden Teal, and he was one of those guys that got over here and he got off to a little bit of a slow start, but he's got pop, he can run, he plays good defense, he's kind of a gap guy with some juice. That's why a lot of teams, a lot of pro guys really like him. He got like a hanging changeup or a split just out over the plate, and one of those towering long home runs to right field.
And he carries himself with such maturity. I mean, you saw the struggles early never seemed to affect him. He continued to show it up, continued to have the same approach at the plate, and that's a guy that's bought into his process of what he does. And I think that's why the guys at the next level like him so much, is because a guy that can commit to something like that and be the same person day in and day out is what you're looking for at that next level.
Aiden Teal with his 3rd home run of the season. And now 2-0 to Ace Reese. Ace Reese singled his first time up, grounded out to the third baseman, and Squibber off the end of the bat to Barrett, who played it well back in the second. But a 9-0 Mississippi State lead here in the bottom of the third.
You talk about a guy that can hit. This guy at the plate is doing it as good as anybody I've really seen be able to.
Fouled it off his foot. Big crowds this weekend, a couple of over 14,000. Had over 40,000 over the weekend. And that ball hit well into straightaway center field. Ballpark's going to hold that one, though, as Urban squares it up. He'll make the catch out and straightaway. Ace Reese flies out for the second out of the third.
Yeah, Bar, you're talking earlier about the stadium and how it plays, that there is one place that does always play big, is the center field. It's a lot of ground to cover out there. It's deep in the gaps. If a ball's going to stay up without the wind, it's going to be out there in center.
And Noah Sullivan will bat. Walked and scored in the first and had an RBI single in the second. Kevin Landry far, gives up a single, gets a ground out, a 2-run home run to Teal, and now a fly out from Ace Reese and Sullivan.
You know, with Farr on the mound here, you know, the inning hasn't gone the way he's wanted it to, but he's been in the zone. He's been on the attack. Even after the home run, he comes right back at Ace and gets back in the zone, forces contact. I think this is a great opportunity for him to grow and to get better and see what works, what doesn't, but I love that he stayed on the attack regardless.
Got Cole Gordon in the booth with us here in the third inning. I'm Bart Gregory along with Jay Powell. Well, you see Stockman. He wanted that ball further out. Kind of feels like he may have gotten away with something on that 0-2.
Yeah, you know, and people like to call those waste pitches. They're not waste pitches. That you want to look like it's on the outside corner right there. People call it tunneling, however you want to phrase it. You know, make it look like that pitch is going to stay on the outside corner, but it's not going to be hittable. You're ahead in the count. You're on the attack. Make your pitch and make them swing at it. There it is. See, that's a pitch too late there because he showed the one in the zone. Now you go out there a little further. He's seen it. So that's the pitch. You make it that first time, you get the out. The second time, you've seen it too many times going through, and now you make the adjustment. But I like that he went back there and made it again.
Jay, a guy like Sullivan likes to go the other way. Do you bust him in with fastball?
That's the problem with Noah. I mean, if you try to bust him in, a lot of times he can get to that ball because of the way he approaches this thing. But I think with 2 strikes with Noah Sullivan, you're better off trying to finish him in than you are trying to go away. I mean, he kind of looks out over the kind of outside corner of the plate. He wants to hit that ball the other way with 2 strikes.
And that's where he did. He came inside with a fastball. You get the strikeout from far. Hey, Cole, appreciate you joining us, man.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a blast. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Cole Gordon, part of the 16 to 19 teams joining us. Well, you watched the Bulldogs hit a couple of home runs here in the 3rd inning. 3-run home run by Jacob Parker, a 2-run shot by Aiden Teal, and it's been all Mississippi State here early in Starkville. Well, 9-0 Mississippi State lead as we go to the top of the 4th inning. State scored 3 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, and then a 5 spot at the bottom of the 3rd. Kyle Morrison going to lead things off for Southern Miss. It'll be 2-3-4 due up for the Golden Eagles against Jack Bauer. First pitch foul back. Morrison hit into a double play his first time up. Well, leading Southern Miss in home runs with 8 on the season and RBIs with 24. Second inning of work for Jack Bauer. Retired the side in order in the 3rd. Bart Gregory, Jay Powell here with you as we go to the top of the 4th and fouled it off. Well, it's good to see Cole. He's part of some of those big teams here at State. Back in 2016 to 2019. Got some big outs on the mound. In relief, here's a pitch.
If you look at Cole's pro career too, you know, he's one of those guys to me that, you know, I never want to say he didn't get a fair shot, but he had some really good years in minor league baseball and just really never got a lot of opportunities.
1-2. And a fastball lifted out into center field. Aiden Teal ranging back on the track. Hauls it in about midway on the track. Morrison gives one a ride to straightaway center field, but out and one down in the 4th.
It's a good swing right there by Kyle Morrison. That's a 98-mile-per-hour fastball, and I mean, he hit it well. He just got underneath it just a little bit, but that ball was hit pretty good. You heard Heard Cole talk about it. The ball doesn't just jump out to center field, but that ball's hit pretty well.
And here comes Brian O'Connor, and that's going to be all for Jack Bauer. So Chris Billingsley goes the first two. Jack Bauer's going to go an inning in the third. We talk about how the State's going to use a number of pitchers tonight here in the midweek start against Southern Miss. And Jay, the thing you have to think about Billingsley and Jack Bauer right here is both guys are going to leave the mound with a good taste in their mouth.
100%. I mean, especially Jack Bauer and what he was able to do with staying in that strike zone. That's a huge shot in the arm for Mississippi State.
Well, Bulldogs back to the bullpen. A 9-0 lead in the fourth. Bulldogs go to the bullpen and bring out Jack Gleason, redshirt freshman from Germantown, Tennessee. Jay, he's been solid. Just a solid guy out of the bullpen so far this year. The numbers have been good. What makes Jack Gleason so good?
Well, watching Jack some this year, the thing to me that makes him so effective is he is a strike throwing machine, and he does it with good stuff. I mean, nothing's just overpowering. He's 91 to 93. He's got a good breaking ball. He's got a good changeup, but he throws strikes. He competes, and he's, you know, we talked about kind of a low heartbeat type of guy. And that's what Jack Gleason is. I mean, there's not a lot that rattles him. He just gets out there and competes and pounds that strike zone.
And he'll face Davis Gillespie to lead things off here in the fourth, or the first batting he'll see in the fourth. Morrison retired to start the inning. Gleason did throw against Southern Miss back on the third down in Hattiesburg. Went an inning and 2/3. There's a line drive down the right field line, and slicing it is trouble, and that is a fair ball into the corner. Over to get it is Parker. The throw back into second base is not in time, and Davis Gillespie has a one-out double. And you look back to that time in Hattiesburg, Gleason gave up a run on 2 hits. He struck out 5 that night. But the first guy he sees here today, Gillespie, good piece of hitting, just went the other way.
Yeah, and one thing about Jack Gleason is he's a strike thrower we talked about. So you're going to give up some hits, you're going to give up some runs. And the bad part of it as a coach, sometimes it happens quick. But for the most part this year, he has been really good. And that was just a good piece of hitting by Gillespie, taking that ball down the right field line.
Here's Matthew Russo. Takes a fastball high. Russo struck out swinging his first time up against the Bulldogs starter, Chris Billingsley. Billingsley went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits. A leadoff single in the first, quickly got a double play. He gave up a 2-out double, a ground ball right down the third base line in the second inning. When you start thinking about the game of baseball and how crazy it is, you start thinking about Morrison at the plate with 1 on and nobody out in the first. And on a 3-1 pitch, he got a fastball down the heart, and he hits a one-hop shot right at the second baseman, and you start the double play ball.
Yep.
And that's how a game can change in a hurry.
Yep. A game of inches. If that ball's a foot or 2 to the right or left, it's a base hit, and Southern Miss is probably up and rolling. And you know, this is one thing Mississippi State has struggled with really is when they play these ranked teams is they've dug themselves a hole early in the game, and tonight it's been the exact opposite. They got off to a quick start.
Here's a 2-2. try to elevate the fastball, and Russo fouls it back.
So he's taking his eyes up to the top of the strike zone. You saw Kevin Malewski point out there to him. That's exactly where he wanted it. So a lot of times you'll see that breaking ball down after this.
Well, he got the breaking ball. It stayed up that time.
Yeah, didn't get it down though. It almost hit Russo in the hands right there. It was a slider, and he was wanting it down and in, and it just stayed in about belt high.
Do you go back down with it?
I think so. I think if you get it down, he'll probably chase it, but you got to get it in the ground.
Well, it went with fastball away that time. And now the count 2-2. A little cat and mouse game right now with Gleason and Russo. Got a runner at second in Gillespie. Second baseman Fry swung way over and into shallow right field.
You just got to be careful with something off speed in the strike zone. If you're going to throw that breaking ball, you need to throw it down.
They try to bust him in with a fastball, left it just down and in, and now the count's full.
Hit it bad right here by Russo.
And he hit by the pitch, and Russo will trot down to first. So a double, then a hit batsman. Yeah, right on the kneecap.
Yeah, it's not going to feel real good. It's not a lot of meat right there. It got right on the bone of the kneecap, and it looked like he was trying to come in. And you know, these hitters nowadays, they don't give ground. You give them credit for that. And Russo just stayed right there with it and got him on the back knee, right inside it. That's going to hurt. Big man, but that still stings a little bit.
And here's Dre Barrett. Two home runs on the season, and the 3-run home run against State back in the first inning in the first meeting was a big one. That was 3 weeks ago. And there's a fastball. Southern Miss coming into the night had taken 2 out of 3 this past weekend from Troy. For State played Troy earlier this year in non-conference midweek game, won 13-7 over Troy. Fouled off.
Troy's got a good ball club. They swing the bat well.
One and two the count. And a fastball just outside.
Outside is right off that outside corner, and a good pitch right there from Jack Gleason, and a good take though by Barrett.
Count evens up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Elevated the fastball, and Barrett swings through it, and a strikeout for Jack Gleason for the second out of the inning. Well, Jay, that's the thing about Gleason. He's got strikeout potential. He struck out 5 down in Hattiesburg back on March the 3rd, and a lot of times he had fastball riding.
Yep. He's got a lot of kind of ride on his fastball. It plays well up in the strike zone, and what makes it so effective, though, is he locates it down in the zone, so you know he can throw it for a strike, and then he raises it up about 8 inches, and you just swing right through it.
And here's Gray Eubanks. He doubled his last time up, his first time up. Second at bat of the game for Eubanks, the DH. Schiff was on back in the second inning, and he hit a roller right down the third base line. And quickly 0-2.
You talk about the approach that Mississippi State's had as far as the lineup kind of suffocating, and it's similar with a guy like Jack Gleason. I mean, he just continues to come right at you.
Just outside. And lifted in the air down the left field line, and that ball is going to slice foul and down into the Mississippi State bullpen. Jay, let me ask you this. I mean, you start talking about coming in games and being a relief pitcher. I say one of the hardest things to do is come in when you got a big deficit. How tough is it in this situation for Gleason when you got a big lead?
Well, you've got to create an edge for yourself as a pitcher, and sometimes if the situation doesn't do it, you've got to do it.
Well, he gets a swing and a miss and a strikeout of Eubanks. Back-to-back strikeouts of Barrett and Eubanks. Southern Miss squanders the one-out double. And we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Mississippi State leading 9-0 over Southern Miss. A 9-0 Mississippi State lead. Bulldogs have scored in the last 10 at-bats. 7 innings on Sunday and 3 innings here tonight. And lead 9-0 over Southern Miss. A rematch of this one. Southern Miss won the first meeting 7-6 back on March the 3rd. And the Golden Eagles have a new pitcher in the game, the left-hander Bruce Littleton.
Got another arm for Southern Miss, and I imagine at this point you're probably going to see them kind of trying to manage this thing the best they can. And, you know, it's by no means is this game over because it's a bullpen game, and all it takes is one guy to come in and be off his game, and you look up and it's instead of 9-0, it's 9-5. So this game can swing in a hurry. But so far on the year, he's pitched 4 in the 3rd innings. He hasn't given up a hit, a run, walked 3, struck out 10. So he's been really good for them out of the bullpen so far this year. Another one of these true freshmen. They got a good freshman group in that bullpen.
Well, Reed Stallman going to lead things off. Stallman, and then Garrick Fry and Ryder Woodson, 4, 5, and 6 in the Bulldog order. The first pitch, fastball. Once again, you see fastball at 93. Jay, a lot of times you use the term, you know, Power 4. Start looking at larger conferences and things of that nature. Baseball is a different sport.
Yep.
And you start thinking about the Sun Belt, you start thinking about Coastal Carolina, you start thinking about Southern Miss and Troy. And you start thinking about just how much depth all these teams now have in pitching. Fastball outside.
Well, to me, the great equalizer that the years of watching regionals and everything else with teams from other conferences was the bullpen. If you get into a regional and if you're a top 25 team, you have a good number one, you have a good number two, you got a decent lineup, you play good defense. The depth in the bullpen was what separated these teams a lot of years. And I think you saw it last year with Coastal Carolina, and I think you're starting to see it with Southern Miss. The gap in the bullpen is closing. And I think the coaches for those teams have realized, hey, if we're going to compete with these kind of big-time power conference schools, we're going to have to close that gap in that bullpen.
Here's a 2-2. Trying to sweep the slider in there, left it high, and now the count's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And you see those numbers right there. They've given up 6 tonight, but this year their bullpen has been outstanding. And if you want to know how good a dominant bullpen can be for a team, look at what Arkansas is doing. Because, you really don't want to ever get in their bullpen.
Well, high and tight with the fastball, and it hits Reed Stallman. Lost that one arm side, and Stallman hit by the pitch, and Mississippi State gets a leadoff man aboard in the 4th.
Well, Reed, talk about holding your ground. He's standing in there, and he perfect job as a hitter. You're taught to tuck that chin and roll that shoulder in, and you never want to get hit, especially up around that face. But a lot of these kids now, these guys wearing that guard that protects their face a little bit, a little more extension. But that was a great job by Reed protecting himself.
And now Drew Wires has a bat in hand, and he will bat for Garrick Fry. Got the left-hander out on the mound. So Drew Wires will bat here in the 4th inning. Fry was 2 for 2. Runner takes off, the throw is down, not in time, and a stolen base for Stallman, who got a really good jump from first base, and that's his 3rd stolen base of the season.
Well, that's a scout report, stolen base right there for Reed. They had something on him for sure, and you saw right there what he did that so many kids don't do anymore. And I say kids meaning players. He looked in, 2 steps, looked in, found the ball if it's hit. But they had something, I'm sure, on Littleton that was a giveaway when he's going to the plate, not because he took off as soon as he lifted that leg.
Foul tip held by the catcher. Drew Wires batting an even 400, 14 hits and 35 at bats. He's made 10 starts this year. New Jersey native, played at Bryant. A couple of home runs, 11 RBIs. The 0-2. The fastball down.
Well, and Garrick Fry is a switch hitter, but he is so much better left-handed. And this is what makes this Mississippi State lineup so tough is you bring in a lefty, and now you kind of pick your poison. You can either go to the bench, or you could let Garrick obviously hit right-handed. But Drew's been really good against left-handed pitching this year.
They fouled off to the first base side, and we'll do it again at 1-2. Start talking about depth and going back to this year's Mississippi State team. You think about Garrick Fry, you think about Drew Wires, and all the different pieces in the outfield. First baseman Blake Beavis. There's Garrick Fry. There's going to come a point in time where a guy's going to go through it.
Yep.
Where you have a difficulty over 5 games of just seeing pitches, and that's the kind of the luxury that Brian O'Connor has had. You start talking about the depth of bullpens at Southern Miss. Mississippi State has some depth at bullpen, but position player-wise, this may be as deep of a team as we've seen in some time here at Starkville. 1-2, and that ball lifted into center field and hit well. Ranging back is Irvin. Got under it a little bit too much. Catch is made. Runners tag up from first and second. Excuse me. Stallman tags up at second and heads over to third. And there's a runner at third and 1 out.
Well, that's good base running by Reed right there. With no outs, you don't have to be quite as aggressive. 1 out, you want to get as much as you can. If it falls, you got to score. But with no outs, if you can get to third base, obviously with less than 2 outs, you got a pretty good shot of scoring. So good base running by Reed, and Drew had a good swing on it right there. He just got underneath it. And you're exactly right. The depth of this lineup, to me, is Mississippi State's strength. That's where their strength is. And so far, Brian O'Connor's done a great job of managing that, and the kids have managed it, bought into it.
Runner at third and 1 out. Here's Ryder Woodson. Walked his last time up. Had an RBI single back in the first inning. Bulldogs scored 3 runs in the first, 1 run in the second, and a 5 spot in the bottom of the third. Ground ball into left field. A solid single by Ryder Woodson. He drives home his second run of the night. Stallman scores the 10th run of the game in his 10-0 stay.
Well, you get a pitch to hit, and you just got to hit it, and that's what Ryder did right there. He got a fastball just middle of the plate, down the middle, and so far Mississippi State has done a really good job of just attacking that pitch and hitting it. You see so many hitters sometimes pop that up, roll over it, but these guys aren't missing it tonight.
And here's Jacob Parker. Lined a home run to right field his last time up. So Ryder Woodson, his second hit tonight. And a 10-0 Mississippi State lead. And right there for strike one.
Brian O'Connor showing a lot of confidence. We've seen him pinch hit some with the left-on-left matchup with Jacob Parker this year, but right now he's letting him swing on this. Lefty. We got the old engagement warning. Took me a little bit to figure out all our umpires' sign language when they. There we go again. That may be a ball. Yeah, that's a ball now. That's the second one. So that's a ball. So the hitter's got to be engaged and ready.
And now you pretty much tell your batters to get in the box and do not look at the pitcher until you are ready. And a foul ball back. State kind of thought that Vanderbilt was quick pitching them on Friday night. It wouldn't matter for a quick pitch or not. Last time up, that was a quick return. Line drive to right field. And in that right field corner, Jacob Parker, a 3-run home run. And that's what State kind of thought Friday night from Vanderbilt is they picked their eyes up and there was a ball. 1-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed. A strikeout for Littleton as Parker strikes out for the second out of the inning.
Well, and that was a nasty slider right there, and that's the old equalizer for a left-handed hitter. And Jacob saw it, fastball, nope, it's going to disappear and take a hard right turn. And that's just a nasty slider right there. By Littleton. But yeah, the Vandy game, they were kind of quick pitching them. And look, pitchers have figured this pitch clock out. I mean, they figured out how to use it to their advantage some and hold the ball and quick pitch them. But yeah, the hitters had to adjust to that.
It's Kevin Milewski, fastball high. And Milewski had a single his last time up. He's 1 for 2.
Catcher just looked like he threw a choke change up there back to the pitcher. It rolled out to shortstop.
Was the old Rube Baker?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Or Major League.
Well, you never watch Major League.
Was it Major League or Bull Durham?
No, that was Major League
Major
2.
League.
Major League 2. Rube Baker.
Yeah.
You never watch the Major League movies Or Bull Durham before you broadcast a game, Jay. You know.
I know it.
Post-game show brought to you by 1-0. Off the end of the bat, out to the right side. Second baseman over. Morrison's got it. He flips it to the first baseman, Matthew Russo. Bulldogs get a run, though. That's now 11 at-bats in a row where State scored a run. 10-0 lead. We're going to talk to the head skipper, Christian Ostrander, when we come back. Mississippi State with a big lead here early. Well, let's go down to the first base dugout. Christian Ostrander, third-year head coach at Southern Miss, joins us. Coach, appreciate you joining us. And you look at this game, and you start thinking about playing a high RPI game. How difficult is it to try to manage a midweek game when you start trying to think about pitching and you got a big weekend coming up?
Yeah, I mean, you got to take that in consideration, but as designed, we're gonna use multiple arms tonight, and obviously hadn't gone the way we hoped it would, and they came out attacking and just put a lot of pressure on us and really hit some pitches they should have hit, and hit some good pitches as well. So you got to tip your cap there.
Coach, other than kind of an outlier tonight, that bullpen you've had, we've talked about it a lot. It's been the depth and the ability and the arms. It's got to be something early in the year. It's been a kind of a big time plus for you.
It has. I mean, we've had some success with it for sure, and we got some guys, some of these young guys out here tonight that are getting a taste of a pretty real environment, and stuff. So they got to grow from it as well. But our bullpen's been a good strength of ours to this point.
Coach, Coach, appreciate you joining us. Congratulations on a good start to the season. Good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you, Coach.
Christian Ostrander joining us down to the first base dugout. Mississippi State going to go back to the bullpen. Bulldogs going to go with the right-handed freshman Parker Rhodes. We've talked about the Southern Miss freshman. Here's a good freshman for State.
Sure is. He's been good. Hadn't pitched a whole lot. Did pitch against Jackson State 2 innings last week. But so far this year, his numbers are good.
Ground ball left side, backhanded play. And Woodson trying to throw it across. Made it a little bit closer than you thought it could have been. But Tucker Stockman is going to have an infield single to get everything started here in the top of the fifth inning.
Tell you what, pretty incredible play to make it that close. I mean, Ryder Woodson goes down on a knee, and he knows the only shot he's got is to throw it off the knee. And honestly, if it hadn't hit the grass, if it had maybe skipped off that dirt, it could have been really close. But that grass kind of killed that hop.
Here's a left-handed hitting Seth Smith. He struck out swinging his first time up against the left-hander Jack Bauer.
I've got a little known fact for you. I faced Seth's dad in the big leagues. Dad was Jason. Adam's his brother. Played for the Tigers. I think he flew out, if I remember right. I'd known him previously and told him I was going to groove him one, and I did. And he still flew out on it. Good ball player, though. Son reminds me a lot of him. You just see the same kind of approach and athletic ability.
Well, Southern Miss has a few of those where you have a lot of guys whose fathers played in the big leagues and played professionally.
Somewhere my two sons are listening, so I might have to ask them what happened to them, right?
Well, they may turn it around and say, hey, Dad, what happened to you showing us the ropes?
That's right.
There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Seth Smith strikes out swinging.
Can't complain the way they've turned out. That was a really good slider by Parker Rhodes right there. We talked about that slider down at the back foot, and that's exactly what it was. Kind of started on the inside corner, and it just dived down. And we got a quick visit to Justin Parker now.
All right, so you get the strikeout. You got an infield single, a runner at first. What's this visit about right here?
I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't know.
Well,
I mean, because you think, at this point, he's throwing the ball well, unless it's a strategy deal to where they want to attack this guy a certain way or something. But, that's the only thing I can come up because he's throwing the ball good. But it had to be something strategy. Said, hey, we're going to do this or this with him, or, could be a deal where, he might be a bunter, Dunsmuir, and you say, hey, just be alert of this, be alert of that. So probably just a little strategy deal.
9-hole hitter Dunsmuir to the plate.
The point is, I guess you don't see a lot of visits out there with a 9-hole hitter up, and you just got to make a good pitch, get it out.
Well, he went out with purpose, too.
Yeah, he did. He jogged out there.
Jogging out there is almost like he had the quick message right there. Stockman, the runner at first. So much was talked about coming into the season, talking about Jack Bauer, hard-throwing left-hander. And then you look up and down the roster and you see some of these freshmen from Mississippi State. What makes Parker Rhodes? If you look at Parker Rhodes and say, okay, I'm going to project the next 2 years, what do you like about him?
Well, I like, he's a little bit like Jack Gleason. He's, for the most part, a strike thrower, and he's got a lot of upside when you look at him. He throws a breaking ball, and he can throw it out of the strike zone. He throws it for a strike. Velocity, I think, will continue to increase. He's still low 90s. I think you could possibly see him, in mid-90s next year some. He's still, as my old coach says, he's still a puppy.
Breaking ball foul back.
This group of pitchers at Mississippi State, they've got when you really look at their overall staff, they've got a young staff. There's the 3 starters are all non-draft eligible guys. You've got some guys in the bullpen that are freshmen, redshirt freshmen. They've got a young group.
Breaking ball, strike 3 called at the knees. And Parker Rhodes gets the strikeout.
You just see a freshman that can spin a breaking ball like that. That's a big-time curveball. He's a fast, true 4-pitch guy, and, he just spins that curveball. That thing had a lot of bite on it.
All right, when you start talking about breaking balls in secondary pitches, in today's world, you just don't see as much of that anymore.
No, everything's hard. Everybody wants to throw that hard cutter, that hard slider. And to me, the curveball, a good curveball is so hard to hit because, one, that curveball is 85 miles per hour. He's not throwing it, just flipping it in there. And it's got a lot of break. It's got a lot of downward action. It doesn't pop out of the hand, meaning you don't see that pop out. It's late. That's a tough pitch for a hitter to hit. There it is again. It's just the curveball to me is kind of a lost pitch. And the guys that throw them and can really command them can get a lot of outs in today's baseball.
Joey Urban, the batter at the plate. He's 1 for 2. A single to start the game in the first. He had a fly out to center field to end the third. Here's the 0-2. He tried it again.
Got a little too cute. The hardest thing for us pitchers to do sometimes is repeat good ones. And that's what I tell pitchers all the time. You repeat the good one, it'll become a great one. And when you throw that good one and you want to immediately throw one better, sometimes get a little quick. It doesn't do right.
Breaking ball blocked up nicely. Infield single to start the inning by Tucker Stockman. He's still over at first. Now back-to-back strikeouts of Seth Smith and William Dunsmuir. And there's strike 3 called. Another breaking ball on the inside corner. Parker Rhodes gives up the infield single, but then strikes out 3 in a row. Well, had the old hammer working.
Yes, sir.
down and in, at the knees, and the same spot. 10-0 State, middle of fifth. The Miss going to go back to the bullpen. Sam Mitchell going to come in, the freshman right-hander from Baton Rouge. He's a Parkview guy, Parkview Baptist High School down in Baton Rouge. Making his 4th appearance of the season, just 2 1/3 of work.
So Lee did pitch against Mississippi State. Looks like he no outs, gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, but good high school. Parkview produces a lot of good players out of that Baton Rouge area. There's a lot of good high school baseball down there. We've seen some good ones come out of there, and Parkview's another one that's really good. Fastball, slider, changeup, occasional curveball guy, true freshman.
Yeah, you look back to the first time the 2 teams played, and he pitched in the 4th inning. He gave up a leadoff walk to Noah Sullivan, then a single to Reed Stallman, and then came out of the game. He's only pitched to 2 batters 3 weeks ago.
I think Christian Ostrander, one thing that he touched on a little bit is, you know, this is a different environment for a lot of these freshmen. I mean, it's a totally different deal when you go on the road with a crowd like this. And same for Mississippi State. I think some of those kids figured that out as when they went on the road to Arkansas.
Breaking ball strike to Bryce Chance. You know, it's interesting when you start talking about guys that play here and play in places that have good support. Then you get in the minor leagues and you got to self-generate.
Yeah, you get there and see the same 3 people at the field, and you start to get known by name.
Groundskeeper.
Oh, yeah. Get on that bus.
Ground ball headed to left field. Bryce Chance has his first hit of the night. Solid single to lead things off here in the 5th.
It's not bad for a 9-hole hitter that's hitting 450 something and leading the SEC. I mean, this just guy knows what he does good and what he doesn't do well, and it's fastball and just hits a bullet into left field. You know, my first year of minor league baseball was in Albany, Georgia, in August. And if you've ever been to Albany, Georgia, it's quite warm in August. So that was a little bit of a, and I was from Mississippi. I thought it was hot in Mississippi. I don't think anything was as humid as Albany, Georgia.
Fastball's high. Once you get into minor league baseball, you realize real quick just how good you had it in college.
100%. That's it. I mean, and look, I think that's why you're seeing some of these kids now that are potential high, you know, I say 3rd, 4th round picks is choosing to come back to college.
Breaking ball up, the runner was started, swinging a base knock to the left side, and Bryce Chance on his horse gets all the way over to 3rd. What, Aiden Teal's got his 4th hit of the night. Bulldogs started the runner, got the breaking ball up, and that allows Bryce Chance to go 1st to 3rd.
These state hitters are very dangerous, and we talked about it earlier. When the left-handed hitters start using that left center side and the left field side, they are extremely dangerous because doing, kind of taking what the pitcher gives them. They're not overswinging. And when these guys start doing that, this is a difficult lineup to pitch because now they're covering that outside part of the plate.
13 hits tonight for State. Here's Ace Reese. He's 1 for 3. A lot of guys go to single A and they get 1 shirt, they get 1 hat. Got to buy your own shoes. You got all the freebies here under Coach Polk when you were here back in the 90s, didn't you?
I did. I got a 1 practice shirt, a pair of shorts, a 1982 version of a polo shirt that was in the year 1993, so it was a little outdated. Things have changed a little bit in college sports. I'd kid with these kids all the time. I mean, we bought our own jackets. We bought our own sleeves, own gloves. Will Clark would give us batting gloves from the previous year. I mean, that's just how things are different.
1-1 to Reese. Breaking ball swung on a miss. You were talking about Will Clark. We were talking about this before the game. So Will would go to the plate and use batting gloves one time and then throw them in a bucket and then send them to you guys, right?
I never knew if it was his actual, like we couldn't figure out if it was a game batting gloves or if he was using them during BP. But at the end, like the next fall, we would get this big bucket of Easton batting gloves, and that was our batting gloves.
Start the runner, ground ball right side. Hold the runner at third, the toss over to first in time for the out. Teal was moving on the pitch, and he's at second base now, but Ace Reese, second time tonight we've seen Ace kind of get out in front and hit a ball right off the end of the bat. But now second and third with 1 out. There's Ron Polk.
Oh, yeah.
Big old yawn over there.
Oh, Coach, wake up. Wake up, Coach. Look at him, the binoculars on.
Past his bedtime.
Yeah, looking out there in right field, seeing us being cooked.
He's on the radio side tonight.
Tell you, once I retired, I really got to know Coach and just have cherished my time these last few years of being around him so much.
Here's Noah Sullivan. 1 for 3 in the game tonight. Had an RBI single back in the second inning. Breaking ball blocked up. Jay, you start thinking about offensive teams, and you hate to keep bringing the point up. But State has scored in all 4 at-bats tonight. You got runners at second, third, and 1 out, and this would be 12 consecutive at-bats as you score a run.
That's a lot of, we call them zip codes.
Breaking ball stays high, but right now that sits at 11.
I mean, and I think that, and you can kind of see Noah. He started off slow. He was kind of beat up a little bit at the beginning of the year and slowed, but once he got healthy, he started getting kind of red hot. But I mean, we call them zip code innings. When you look up there and it's a 3-1, 5-1, I mean, it's when you start putting up multiple crooked numbers like this team is doing, and it's like Cole had said earlier, there's not a break. You don't get to pass, say, Reed Sullivan and go, okay, I can kind of catch my breath. You got Bryce Chance hitting ninth, he's hitting 450. I mean, there's not a point in this lineup right now as an opposing pitcher that you can kind of catch your breath.
And a walk to Noah Sullivan, and now the bases are loaded. Chance the runner at third, Aiden Teal at second, Noah Sullivan at first.
It's not a big lead, but this thing could really spiral out of hand right now. That base is loaded up there with Reed Stallman, who's capable of obviously hitting one out of here.
Stallman hit a ball hard to right field in the second inning. Grounds the ball right side and into right field for a base hit. They'll wave Teal around from second base. The throw is cut off. It's a 2-run single for Reed Stallman. All 9 Mississippi State starters have at least 1 hit tonight. And there's your 2-run single from Stallman to make it 12-0.
Well, these guys this year have been so good at situational hitting with guys on base, with guys at third with less than 2 outs, and it's just continued, and it is just kind of suffocating offensively when you start looking at this lineup. Have another pitching change, it looks like.
Christian Ostrander is out, and Southern Miss is going to go back to the bullpen. I think that's Teague Broadhead, and it is. So Teague, a redshirt freshman from Fairhope, going to come in. And he will inherit runners at first and third. 2 runs home in the 5th, and a 12-0 Mississippi State lead. Coming in, redshirt freshman from Fairhope, Alabama. And he will inherit runners at first and third. 2 runs home in the inning. Jay, what you got on Teague Broadhead?
Well, so far this year, it's going to be his 6th appearance. Pitched 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned, 4 walks, 4 Ks. Good stuff. Another power arm out of that pen. I mean, he's going to run it up there low, mid-90s. Curveball, occasional slider, changeup type of guy, and I mean he's like I said. I mean he's a power arm, redshirt freshman, hadn't got a lot of experience, but got a good arm for sure. The walks have hurt him a little bit, obviously 4 walks in 5 innings, but man, the stuff is there. He's another one of these guys out the bullpen with a really good arm.
Broadhead pitched against State a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and was roughed up just a little bit in that game. Gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. He didn't strike out anybody. He walked a batter. He's thinking about Mississippi State offensively. 3rd in Division I in doubles coming in. Batting average of 5th. There's Drew Wires. First pitch swinging, he popped him up. First baseman calling for it right by the line, and he'll make the catch. Matthew Russo puts it away. So Broadhead comes in, 1 pitch, 1 out as Drew Wire skies 1 out to the right side of the infield, and now Ryder Woodson will bat. Well, Woodson has a couple of RBI singles tonight. 1 in the 1st, the other in the 4th. Fouled it off.
Ryder Woodson is one of these guys that, and we talked about it a little bit. He had a great region at Auburn last year for NC State, but you really didn't have a real good idea. You knew the tools were there, you knew the ability was there, but you really didn't have a true track record of what he could do. But boy, he's been really good for Mississippi State so far this year.
Jay, you start thinking about the line totals, and we're talking about the zip code lines. 31512 is Ambrose, Georgia.
Sounds like it's southeast Georgia.
Southeast Georgia down by Tifton.
Is that right?
That's right.
There you go.
1-2. High and tight, and the fastball got away from Broadhead, and it hits Ryder Woodson. And the bases are loaded for Jacob Parker. State's going to have Vitas Valencias at the plate. Got the fastball up and in and right in the ribs. And that
got a little bruised rib. We used to call him barbecue in the ribs right there, and that got him right in the ribs.
So bases loaded with 2 outs, and Vitas Valencias will be the batter. He's got 13 hits and 30 at-bats. He's made 10 starts this year. He'll take over the outfield. So Parker's night is over. He went 1 for 3 with a home run.
Saw a lot of Vitas earlier in the year against left-handed pitching.
Chop left side. Shortstop Smith up with it. He'll throw it across. Got the big arm on the left side. Bulldogs score a pair. And Vitas Valencias grounds out. Well, we'll talk to Tomas, his brother, when we come back. Mississippi State with a 12-0 lead. Tomas Valencias had a career-high 14 strikeouts in a game on Saturday against Vanderbilt. Had the slider working, fastball early. They really set the table for the Bulldogs to win game 2 of that 3-game series. Fielding his position well, and now joined in that third base dugout by Tomas Valencias. And Tomas, you look back to that game on Saturday, and we were just watching the package of highlights. The slider seemed like it was such a big pitch for you. Did you have the feel in the bullpen, or was it something that just kind of came to you in the first couple of innings? When did you feel like, hey, I got something working with this one tonight?
I mean, yeah, I changed my grip, I think, the week before Arkansas, and I kind of just been throwing it consistently every day, trying to maximize as much as I've thrown it, and it kind of just gave me the confidence to throw it in any count to any hitter. So, I mean, just trusting in, throwing as hard as I can, and let the action do the work.
Tomas, you talk about making a jump from your freshman to your sophomore year. What do you think is one of the main things that you've done as far as you can look, kind of pinpoint, say, hey, I've gotten a lot better at this compared to where you were last year?
I'd say it's just working with Coach Parker and kind of just understanding the delivery piece of it. Everything starts from the delivery, and simplifying that allows me to be more consistent with everything else. So, I mean, Coach Parks kind of changed everything for me and to help me kind of guide me through the whole process of doing so and working on it every day, no matter if I'm doing good or bad.
You know, you've had the good start to the season. You had a good year last year at Virginia. Now coming to Starkville, and you got your brother with you. We just talked about the Vito just a moment ago with that ground out. How special is it playing with your brother on the team?
I mean, it's everything I could possibly dream for. I mean, I didn't really know that there was even an opportunity to do that. But once it happened, I mean, it's been truly special to be with him every day and kind of have him behind my back and me behind his.
All right, man, we'll let you get back to watching the ball game. Dane Burns out on the mound, fielding his position well as Morrison hits a ground ball back to him. Tomas Valinkas joining us. He was a pitcher of the week in the SEC last week, and then a 14 strikeout performance this past Saturday against Vanderbilt. You see that ground ball, Jay, and there's Vitas Valencias out in right field for Mississippi State, the brother. But Dane Burns gets a ground ball back to him in the underhand toss. He gets Morrison. So a quick out for Dane Burns, and his night is going to be over. And Mississippi State will go back to the bullpen. Jay, you saw that play by Burns there, and Charlie and I talked about it this weekend. You talk about Tomas Valinkas made a couple of plays. You look out on the mound. That's the thing one of the things that's been really impressive about this pitching staff is literally when they let the ball go, you got 5 infielders out there.
You got to be a fielder, and that's kind of honestly a little bit of a lost art that we lose sight of sometimes, is being able to field bunts, being able to hold runners, being able to do the things that make you a good pitcher, not just throwing the ball across the plate. And they've been really good this year, and that's a hard thing to do sometimes because you see how many times you see a guy reach up for a ball and ricochets off his glove or something like that. So they've been good though, as far as if they can get to a ball, they get to it and they make a play. And you're going to see another guy who's made a few plays coming in now, Maddox Webb.
Maddox Webb, 10th appearance of the season, hard-throwing right-hander, the transfer from the Citadel. Jay, what have you liked about Maddox Webb so far this year? He's a guy that's come in, and every time he's entered a ball game, you just kind of looked and say, man, that guy's got stuff. Yeah,
he's got really good stuff. Hard fastballs, got good movement on it. I mean, it's good secondary stuff. It's just, for me and watching this Mississippi State bullpen kind of way they've developed, he's a huge part of this deal if they're going to try to get to where they're going to get. You've got to have a couple different arms in that bullpen you can really trust. And to me, Maddox is the guy that they can kind of pin their hopes on a little bit along with Ben Davis. But good stuff, throws strikes, competes very well. This is going to be one of those, I'm sure they're trying to script out certain guys get some work tonight. And that's probably why you saw Dane only go to one hitter.
This has been the big inning for Southern Miss, but you're down 12-0 here in this 6th inning.
It's pretty impressive there. 22-0 in the 6th inning.
And a lot of that goes back to the bullpen depth.
Yep.
People are starting to get into their bullpen, or they may be in the 2nd or 3rd guy, and kind of rolling with your guys.
Yeah, and you're not giving up much, and the other team's giving up a bunch.
Davis Gillespie, the batter, 1 down in the top of the 6th inning. Maddox Webb threw an inning and struck out a guy, walked 3. Takes a pitch outside. That was in the Friday game against Vanderbilt. State won the Friday game 4-2, 7-2 on Saturday. They won 17-7 in 7 innings against Vandy to sweep the series. It's a big weekend last weekend at home. Bulldogs now 4-2 in the SEC. Southern Miss lost 2 out of 3 on the road at Arkansas State. Tough place to play in Jonesboro. Lost games 1 and 3. Won 2 out of 3 this past weekend against Troy. Ground ball poked to the right side. Stallman fields it and led him just a little bit too much. That's like a quarterback leading a wide receiver on a slant route.
Well, there's a man sitting over to the booth to the right of me that always told me at first base, if it's slow, you let it go. If it's hot, you take a shot. That's one right there Reed probably should have let go, and you had wires behind him, but you just got to communicate that. If it's hit slow, you know you got that second baseman coming over. That's a difficult play because it takes Reed so far to his right, and he's trying, like you said, he's trying to hit a wide receiver on a hot route, and it's just tough to do. I broke out my old first baseman knowledge back there from my freshman year.
Southern Miss with a pinch hitter. Ty Long, Ripley sophomore. Batting in place of Matthew Russo. So if it's hot, you got to give it a shot. Is that what you're saying?
100%. And it, you know, when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. And so many times, though, you see that first baseman on a slow ground ball to second go too far to his right, field the ball, and you look up, and the second baseman's right behind him, and now it's just not an easy throw trying to hit a moving target. The pitcher's trying to find the bag all at once.
Long fouls it back to the count. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Even though we know the pitcher, of course, is the best athlete on the field.
Long limited at bats this year, 2 hits and 17 at bats, so batting $118. One-two, breaking ball fouled off. Now, in that case right there, where the ball's hit that hard, and you're trying to get over there, your angle is different for a pitcher coming in to field that throw.
The one that just got hit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, 100%. It's just a very difficult play, and that's why you practice it so much at spring training of covering that first base.
Swing and a miss, the breaking ball down and away. And a big strikeout for Maddox Webb, and out number 2 of the 6th.
It's a good slider right there by Maddox Webb, and that's what he does well. He can get ahead and put you away with that breaking ball that starts out on that outside corner. You saw Kevin Malewski point out there. That's exactly where he wanted it.
And Dre Barrett will be the batter. He's 0 for 2, a ground out to second. He struck out swinging in the 4th. And lifts the first pitch out into shallow right field. Second baseman going back. Drew Wires has got it, and that will end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's been all Mississippi State tonight. Bulldogs lead 12-0 over Southern Miss. State leading in a big crowd on a Tuesday night here in Starkville. Well, this past weekend, Mississippi State had 2 of the top crowds in the top 25, and now all 25 of the top 25 crowds in D1 baseball on campus belong to this place. And 12,887 tonight here on a Tuesday night. That big crowd on the Tuesday. I tell you what, Jay, looking back, and I know all the guys are scurrying around for it. You start looking at the top 25 crowds, and you got 12,000 tonight. This may be the biggest midweek crowd I've ever seen.
I think it is. I really do. I thought earlier it might be 10,000 plus. But, man, 12,000 is just incredible.
And Cole Richardson will come in, the sophomore from Ellisville, South Jones Brave. And making his 4th appearance of the season. And Andrew Raymond has a bat in hand for Mississippi State. So Andrew Raymond will bat in place of Kevin Maluski, who goes 1 for 3 tonight. And first pitch swinging, flares 1 foul the other way.
Raymond played a lot earlier in the year especially, and has kind of platooned a little bit. I think you're seeing Kevin Maluski play a majority of the innings now.
Chopped it foul. He was primarily your catcher with right-handed pitching out there.
Yep.
And Andrew Raymond drew the start down in Hattiesburg. He went 1 for 4 in that game. Well, fool with that pitch. That had some run to it.
It did. It looked like a split right there. The bottom just fell out of it. Richardson's got one of those guys, kind of got a lot of levers, long, lanky arms. It looked like a split just going down and away, and it just bottomed out on him.
And now James Nunley has a bat, and he's going to pinch hit for Bryce Chance. Jay, am I wrong for saying this? And this may be an observation that I may be wrong with. But it just seems to me, like you mentioned the split, it seems like more and more guys are going back to the split than what we've seen, say, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, because you can. I think you're right, and I think you can throw it harder than necessarily a true change, and it gets more movement, and that's that's what folks are chasing now. They're chasing velocity plus movement, and I think with that split, you can get more more velo than you can just a normal changeup.
1-0, changing the grip on the ball, and it's almost like a hybrid. You think about Duke Stone.
Yep, that kick change. Yeah, that's, you're seeing more and more kind of, tinkering, and that's a great thing. I mean, it's just making pitching that much better. But, Duke throws that kick change where he kind of basically spikes his finger. And, I've honestly, having Duke in the summer with me, I played with it, and to me, I was a pronator. I was a sinker ball guy, and it's very hard for those guys to throw that kick change.
2-1, and that ball hit well in the straightaway center field. Urban going back, and right there at the wall, reaches up and hauls it in. Nunley gives one a ride to straightaway. Urban, with his back against the wall, hauls it in, and now 2 quick outs in the 6th. Now, the thing about, you talk about a kick change, and you're pretty much putting the middle finger up on top of the ball. Is that right?
Yeah, and like I said, when I'm just playing with it, I don't know how in the world they command it, but it gives guys that are supinators more movement, and that's what they're chasing. They're chasing movement out of that changeup. And, just from talking to people that throw it, that's kind of been the thing, that the pronating guys have a harder time with it.
Blake Beavis has a bat in hand. He's going to pinch hit for Aiden Teal. But you heard Tomas Valinkas talk about a moment ago about changing his grip with his slider. Is that something that guys are always tinkering with?
Always tinkering with it. And that can be a good thing, and it can be a bad thing. I mean, you see guys that tinker so much, they tinker themselves into a slump a little bit. But guys that, it's just little fine adjustments that might make that breaking ball a little sharper, break a little later. And that's what you're constantly chasing as a pitcher.
Count now 1-2.
I was a hard sinker ball guy, so I could tell just playing catch. When I was behind the ball, when I would get to the side of it, I could tell just by playing catch when I was off kilter. So, that's what you kind of got to develop as a pitcher, to be able to kind of coach yourself through that.
1-2 foul back. Because when I think of if you really want to tinker, you really want to say, okay, this is something I want to try differently, is it not in the summer in the Cape?
Yep, 100%. A lot of it is, and you see that. You know, we had a kid from Michigan go up there. Tate Carey was a fastball slider changeup, and I told him one day, I said, hey, Tate, you're a curveball guy, man, and all of a sudden now he's a 4-pitch guy.
Beavis rolls out to the right side. A quick inning for Cole Richardson. Well, we go to the 7th. 10-run rule in effect. State with a 12-0 lead. Top of the 7th inning. Taking a look back at this one, Mississippi State scored 3 runs in the first inning, got everything started. Eubanks and Gillespie both have doubles for Southern Miss. They've used 9 pitchers. Mississippi State, Jacob Parker, a line drive home run, a 3-run home run, and that was back in the 3rd inning. Aiden Teals had a 4-for-4 a home run. And Mississippi State here in the midweek with 7 pitchers used. 12 on 14 for State, no runs, 4 hits for Southern Miss. And now we go to the top of the 7th inning with a 10-run rule in effect after 7. The freshman Maddox Miller will come in.
Well, we talked a lot about Southern Miss's freshman class down there in that bullpen and how talented they are. And same can be said right now for Mississippi State. You know, Jack Bauer kind of overshadowed a lot of these guys, but this kid here, to me, is one of the guys that have a really bright future for Mississippi State. Maddox Miller, a freshman, so far in the year, he's thrown 8 2/3, given up 8 hits, 6 earned, 2 walks, and 17 strikeouts, and arguably has one of the single best pitches on the staff in that changeup. I mean, he has great arm speed on it. It just dies. He's got to develop the breaking ball a little bit better, and as it gets better, he's got a chance to be kind of a frontline starter next year.
Gray Eubanks going to step in. He'll lead off here for Southern Miss in the 7th. And first pitch, fastball at 95. Eubanks has a double tonight down the left field line in the 2nd inning. Struck out swinging his last time up, only his 3rd at bat of the night. And now 1 and 2.
Those are 2 fastballs right there that, I mean, you can't hardly throw them any better than he did.
And that one caught the edge. And the 1-2 to Eubanks. There's strike 3. Just pumped the fastball in there. Eubanks takes it for strike 3 and a strikeout for Maddox Miller to start the 7th.
I almost had the good morning, good afternoon, and good night, other than 1 ball, but that was 3 fastballs just right by him.
So leadoff man retired here in the 7th inning. And first pitch swinging is Lawson Odom. Seen a couple South Jones guys. Here's a West Jones guy, Mustang.
Good baseball program down there. I believe former Golden Eagle coaches at West Jones team.
Ball lifted in the air out into left field and hit well, slipping down, and is going to fall in front of Beavis out there in left field. It'll be a pop fly single. He went back to find the wall and slipped down.
Well, Beavis we've seen a lot at first base, and he's played a little bit on the corner outfields for Mississippi State, and that was one of those that it was a changeup. He was out in front of it, but when it came off the bat, it came off like it was hit better than it was. So he did right. He went back first, and he tried to come in. His feet just went out from under him.
And here's Seth Smith, 0 for 2 with a couple strikeouts. There's a couple hits tonight for Stockman. Well, Stockman had a single, and then Odom with the pinch hit there. State will be in action on the road this weekend at Ole Miss, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 6:30 on Friday, 1:30 on Saturday, 3 o'clock on Sunday. That ball ripped into right field, ranging over and knocked down by Valencius out there to keep it from going past, and that will be a solid single for Seth Smith. So now back-to-back base runners with 1 out in the 7th inning.
Well, you know, during our 3rd inning, we talked about, as a freshman, the things you have to do, and you just got to settle yourself down a little bit. And right now, Maddox is speeding this game up a little bit on him. Must have a little dew out there, because that's twice now. And I don't know if Fetus could have made that play anyway, but it looked like his feet came out from under him also.
It kind of has a heavy air to it tonight. Ball hasn't been traveling like we've seen it some. Here's Tunsmeyer. He's 0 for 2 with a fly out and a strikeout. Trying to check the swing, but went around. One. Fastball way outside. 2-1 the count. Maddox Miller pitched down at Oak Grove High School. 2-1. He missed outside to count 3-1. Well, Jay, I just can't think about Oak Grove High School without thinking about Harry Breland. Longtime head coach down there. Had so much success. Think about him. You think about Larry Watkins at Petal. Larry Knight at Hattiesburg. That entire area has always been just such a hotbed of baseball.
100%. You have an area down there with Petal and Summerall, and that area produces some really good baseball players.
3-2, and strike 3 called, and that's out number 2.
Kid showing a little bit right there. He went through a couple of hitters where you could tell he got out of his rhythm a little bit. He came back, got a big strikeout right there. He's got just an electric fastball, and there's Maddox showing a little emotion. You got to like to see that. Came back to get him a big strikeout.
And now Joey Urban will bat. Southern Miss down to its final out. Swing and a miss.
It's that changeup right there, and it's so good because he's got such great arm speed on it. And you know, most guys, they have an 8 to 10 mile per hour difference. His is almost 12, but it's got such good arm speed that it's hard to stay back on. Another one.
Bulldogs trying to run rule an opponent in back-to-back games. Knocked off Vanderbilt 17-7 on Sunday. Lead 12-0 here on a Tuesday night in Starkville against Southern Miss. A top 15 matchup. It's been all Bulldogs tonight. Crowd on its feet, the 0-2. Just off the outside corner. Urban started his career at Butler. Jupiter, Florida native, digs in. The 1-2. Overthrew that one a little bit.
Yep, 100%. Had him set up for it. They were trying to finish him off the end with a fastball. And right pitch, right call, just didn't execute it.
Chop off the glove of the pitcher. Woodson's got it. Throw it to first. It's not in time. Nice save by Stallman over there. The game's going to stay alive. It'll be an infield single for Joey Urban. Just kicked off the glove of the pitcher. And Woodson, who was moving to his left, had to put the brakes on in a hurry.
Yeah, if he, it's one of those, if he lets it go, he's probably got him out. But when it kicked off his glove, Ryder had to basically set his foot or set his feet and double back to his right, and there was just no shot of making the play then. That's hard to do, though, as a pitcher, because you're taught to field the ball if it's hit to you or around you to get those outs, and as a competitor, you want to get them, and it's just so hard to just let that ball go knowing that your defender's back there.
Well, we've had a pop fly single when the left fielder slipped down. A single to right by Smith, and now an infield single by Urban. And Kyle Morrison will be the batter. Well, the thing about Morrison is here's a guy that could put a charge in the one. You got to play at least another inning. 10-run rule in effect, a 12-0 lead for Mississippi State. And there you see him. He had a thought on his mind of being able to go back out to second base for the bottom of the seventh. 0 for 3 tonight is Kyle Morrison. The 0-1. And there's strike two. The pitch.
Overthrew it a little bit. Once again, it's the right call. I love the call going back with that fastball 0-2, but he just overthrew it.
One-two pitch, swung on and missed. Maddox Miller strikes out Kyle Morrison. And the Bulldogs win it 12-0 over Southern Miss to split the series at a game apiece against the Golden Eagles this year. And Jay, just out of the gate, Mississippi State got it going offensively, got a good performance on the mound from a number of pitchers.
Sure did. It was just kind of a really 1 through 9 type of night for Mississippi State. Everybody hit, everybody contributed, and their pitchers did a great job. Really, everybody that came in there 3 strikes competed.
So for Jay Powell, hey, appreciate you jumping in with us, Jay. Mississippi State wins it 12-0. I'm Bart Gregory saying so long from Starkville. Watch this game as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks. Log on to watchespn.com or download the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.